What up, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the State of the Game, where we, along with the guests and my co-hosts, talk about Mortal Kombat 11 with a little extra. What? Did I already mess up? Why are you laughing? Why?
No.
Why? Why? What? Dude, all right. Let me just intro the damn show, okay? We're starting off hot, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Anyways, exclamation mark junk. Anyways, today we have our two guests, as well as our co-hosts, DreamxEaterx and SilverSandBag. We have the Kollector. The Kollector on Xbox. I'm going to just say that. The Kollector, the man known for that person right there. Krispifungus, as well as the Kung Lao beast from the East. I don't know if he's actually from the East. Zcytheshock. These two went at it. Midwest. All right, he corrected me. These two went at it for the finale. Oh, not finale. The final grand finals of the Nightmare series. Was it week 1, right, Dream?
Yep.
And it was a fantastic hype match indeed. How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day. Seriously.
I'm actually having a fantastic day.
Hell yeah, dude.
One of the best days in a long time. Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Had a test today. Got my black belt in Kempo Karate.
Ooh.
And today was the day. Just happened to be.
Let's go, bro.
It was a really nice day. Passed with flying colors.
That's sick. Now you're bringing that.
That's awesome, dude.
Now, hold on. A real side topic. Does any of your Mortal Kombat experience, or your fighting, actually, like, your real fighting experience come into your, like, fighting game, or vice versa?
Like habits, or just like the martial arts itself?
Kind of like the habits that you learn from, like, your teacher, like how to, like, bait an opponent in or something like that, or...
Yeah, absolutely. So neutral is this is kind of gonna sound funny, but I'm sure you might understand. But like neutral in real life is sometimes a lot like fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what you're going into a lot when you're playing a fighting game, but when you're fighting somebody in real life, you don't know if they actually have like a weapon or not. So it's best just to back off, and like when you're looking for something, when somebody's gonna pull out something or like run at you, it's kind of the same in Mortal Kombat 11 when you're just looking at them staring down,
looking at that whip punish,
some sort of information on them. Yeah, or that too. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. I mean, there's that, but I feel like everybody has that. So.
Do you ever run up on your opponent and just duck, hoping that they'll uppercut?
Bro, no cap, bro. I was in school one day and somebody did do that and uppercutted somebody's chin. They literally ran at them. They threw a hook and just down 2 crushing blows.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, I want to see Zcytheshock forward or orbiting hat someone in real life.
Yeah. To get into to get into the discussions that we got here, I want to open it up to Krispifungus. I want to ask, first off, it's kind of an off topic. This is a topic from SilverSandBag, but off the current meta, are there any solutions to getting around the problems that you see? Do you see any problems in the current meta, and what do you think would remedy those problems? And he's dead.
No. Can you give me an example of one of those things? One example from the meta that you're talking about?
Silver, do you have
like, people like? Yeah, so like the current like wake up system, everyone says like just Dragon Show. If someone's going for a meaty, they just delay wake up and then flawless block the string. Ways of like dealing with like that type of situation.
Yeah. So I actually was thinking about that. I've never really done it, but I'm pretty sure everybody saw that clip from Dragon. That concept, wake up buttons got nerfed, but now there's flawless blocking every time you delay wake up, and on top of that, you can actually react to their buttons. They try to meaty. But I haven't really experienced it myself, so I don't really know how strong or weak I can say it is.
All right, interesting. Okay. And Zcytheshock, do you have anything to add?
It yet either.
Yeah, I mean, no, I've seen a couple of people like, dude, their flawless block game is insane. Like, I played a game.
Are they doing it to the point where they are delayed get upping and then flawless blocking everything? Because the concept that Dragon has introduced is hey, this beats everything, right? This beats meaty throw because you stay underneath it. This beats I mean, it meets their meaty timing. If it meets them waking up or waiting for your wake up attacks, you just sit there and you just wait, and then you flawless block any kind of meaty. If they're not meeting you, if they're not, pressing properly, then you don't have to even worry about it. So it I haven't seen yet, even in the tournament space, really anybody that is doing like every time I get knocked down, I delay get up and I flawless block anything and I win. I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, we'll see if it ends up becoming more prominent.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add, Zcytheshock?
I personally have never done it either. Yeah, I've never done it either, but there's a lot of things I have with Kung Lao, especially Kung Lao, and we'll get into it. It's a topic for another moment, but I like to jump up and jump over people a lot on wake up, and
yeah, fucking
Kung
Laos.
Looking for that during my gameplay, and pretty soon they like to wake up and then try to just anti-air me every time, and I'll just meaty them, and that's how most of my meaty game works with Kung Lao. And I don't know, it gets me a lot of reward, and it seems like I don't do enough meaties for people to actually wake up flawless block me personally. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just getting mad because that's all most Kung Laos do to me is just jump over my stuff. Like, dude, why?
Oh, yeah.
Are all Kung Laos frogs? Damn it, I hate them.
Yeah,
Bird love.
going off of what you said with the jump over as your meaty. Do you think when it comes to jumps or jump threes, jump kicks, any kind of jump ins that has there been ways other than just trying to do anti-airs or flawless blocking that you guys have found that generally against most happy jumpers?
I mean, flawless blocking is got to be the best way to approach it, right? If somebody is clearly jump kicking over you every single time, then the game has a built-in default. Everybody can do it. Nobody has to equip it. It's not an ability you need. It's just a system mechanic that every character can do. And even at minimum, if your flawless block attack isn't great, or it's not worth it to spend the meter on the launcher because your character can't do much afterward, maybe still even flawless blocking people's pressure, it does adjust the frames to some extent, and at minimum it throws off people. There's the number of people that aren't ready for it to get they're looking to press more buttons after, and when it gets flawless blocked and it freezes them up, they're not ready for that, and then you can take your turn off of that even. I think is pretty heavy. So I think flawless block is an answer that we need to see more of. Look, when I think of flawless block, I think of flawless block very similarly to Third Strike's parry system, where right before the final, right when it hits, you hit forward on it on the stick, and you can do that on frame traps. In that game, you're allowed to flawless block or to parry frame traps, I believe. The other thing is you can do it in the air, but I guess what I'm getting at with that is that the beginning of Third Strike, when parry first got introduced, was probably thought to be an incredibly difficult and hard to do thing. And now if you watch Third Strike, though, people are parrying everything. And I think that as time goes on, those that are dedicated will get better at flawless blocking stuff and the feeling of flawless blocking. And I mean, I myself have already gotten better at flawless blocking certain gaps and stuff like that. So I think that flawless block is probably the future. I need to reset my brain and stop trying to jab anti-air every time, and just be willing to flawless block more. And that's I as annoying as it is that I can't jab anti-air all the time, I also recognize that maybe that's not how the game is meant to be, and I should at minimum try the other things that are available to me before I decide to throw a tantrum and say, oh, this game sucks, I can't do it the way I've always done it. No, man, try maybe doing the new thing and then see how that feels. And after that point, you're more than welcome to complain, but at least participate with the mechanics that are there for you.
Okay,
that's a fair point. And honestly, this question goes both to Krispifungus and Zcytheshock. I'm going to start with you, Zcytheshock. Are there anything in the game that kind of annoy you or you wish were different? Any of the game mechanics, like the wake-up system, fatal blow, flawless blocking, how, in your opinion, is Mortal Kombat 11 to you? Is it the game that you wanted, or is it something that you're just playing to kind of pass time until the next Mortal Kombat?
I gotcha. So, yeah, this game is really fun to me. I actually really like this game at moments. But this is because I'm very, what's the word? I'm very, privileged for the character I made. The wake up
You
system
son of a.
is extremely just, I don't know. It speaks for itself at times, just how weird and, just I can't pressure people on knockdown a lot of the times. But since I'm Kung Lao and I have Buzzsaw or Z-Hat, it's essentially like auto offense on the ground, so I don't have to worry about that. So that makes the game 10 times easier for me. And another thing that you said, what's the thing you don't like? So this is the thing I really like, and the thing I really don't like is grabs. So grabs are really nice, but it's weird in a game where that's so grab based, where some characters have command grabs and some characters don't, because the characters that have command grabs get true strike throw mix, so they force you to move without actually having to enforce a actual mind game. You just have to move because you know their character has a command grab. And the reason that is because command grabs can't be teched, and regular grabs can be teched. So you can do like a throw tech OS. So essentially, a throw tech OS works like when you see somebody's limbs move, you just click Y or X depending on which direction you think they're going to throw you, and you'll block their fast mid, and you'll also tech their forward or back throw depending on which one you press at the same time. So you can defend against throws like that. You can also micro duck as soon as you see a pause or when they're up close to you. You can also do that against command grab characters, but it's like particular characters like Garrus, Kotal, and Robocop, they could just run up to you and mid command grab you, and it's just, they don't have to have any sort of skill. They just have to know how to jump up to you and command grab, and that's really annoying to me. I love grabs. I love the strike throw game, but in a game where most characters don't have command grabs, those characters just really stand out, and it's really annoying at times to me, especially when I know I'm better than somebody and I kind of just get command grabbed all game, and my defense that I spent hours in practice defining just doesn't matter at times. But that's just fighting games,
Short
this
hopping.
game is just extremely bad.
Can't get grabbed out of
short hopping. That's true, but you're still releasing block at the same time.
I mean,
it sucks. That's all. Yeah, no, I just hate releasing block when I don't know. For me, I just don't like getting 50-50 like that, I guess.
I feel like that's a fair point.
Yeah, to have an opinion.
Krispifungus, how do you feel about this situation? What mechanics do you feel like are not your favorite, and what things do you like about Mortal Kombat 11?
I think I have a longer list of things I don't like.
By all means, dude, get into it. Go on.
I think crushing blows are stupid and not balanced properly whatsoever.
All right, I'm out.
I could give you a perfect example. Like, Liu Kang can get 2 crushing blows guaranteed every single match, and then you'll have Kollector, who he just has the universal crushing blows that he can get. Command grab is on a read, and at a high level, from what I've been playing lately, most people don't roll when you have command grab because they don't want to get crushing blowed. And then Collectors stand 3-2. Crushing blow never hits anyone because they have to crouch block the second hit, but you could react to the first hit, so it's so stupid. But regardless, though, like Sindel Scream crushing blow as well. Come on, man, what the hell is that?
Yeah, that's really dumb.
Another thing I don't like is I don't.
Go ahead, man. It's all right. Let it out, dude. We're here to confess.
I guess I can. Well, what else?
I actually have a lot more to say.
I hate fatal blows. There's no reason to not throw them out randomly in the neutral. And then on top of that, it's like characters who have full screen fatal blows. Where's the punishment for that crap? I can't even punish it full screen with Kano without chest pump.
Where's the risk?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no risk for it, and on top of that, you don't lose it, or you don't lose it for that round. And then you get armor on top of that, and it's like all this damage for what?
So do you think the game would be better? Do you think the game would be better without fatal blows?
Absolutely.
I think fatal blow, the idea is cool, but the way it's executed is trash. Like on block, you know what I mean? Like they'll hit you and then they'll just get pushed back 20 feet. You can't even punish. And then, I don't know. I personally would like to not necessarily take out fatal blows, but make it related to meter or something, because in every fighting game you can't use your big specials without meter, and in this game you just get meter for free, and then you get a fatal blow for free, and they're not correlated at all. And so you get all this like meter management is an actual fundamental, and so just getting it back whenever and just being able to throw it out whenever kind of defeats fighting games like.
Yeah, it kind of simplifies it.
I got you.
I think that may add the pushback on fatal blows can be quite obnoxious. Certain ones, like Kitana, throws out a fatal blow in neutral, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. I think some of the full screen ones are maybe they're intended to be safe like that. Like that's part of how it's meant to be. Like Frost and Noob Saibot, Aaron Black are the ones that come to mind. That if you don't have a teleport, they're just that is supposed to be like that. Yeah, Cetrions is the same way. But for the most part, there are way too many situations where a fatal blow does feel like it should not be able to be gotten away with like that. And I totally agree with the concept of them not coming back in that round. At least I think you get one use of the fatal blow. It either hits or it doesn't in that round, and then it's done for that round. And the same goes for even a cancel, right? Johnny Cage gets to go for the cancel, do the big dumb sunglasses combo for 50%. If that wasn't enough to kill you, like already, I don't think that he should also then be able to do a fatal blow right after that and finish the job. I think that if you spend it on a cancel like that, then it's gone for the rest of that round. I think he should still keep it. I don't think that you should lose it forever just because it got blocked. But I definitely don't like, you catch somebody blocks your fatal blow, they don't get away with the punish, and then like during your long comeback, you're able to get another fatal blow attempt. Like that is so annoying. That is so annoying when you're on the receiving end of that, where you almost finish somebody off, you block their fatal blow, you don't get the punish right, so you're not able to kill them, and then 10 seconds later, you got to worry about them panicking their way into another 30% that you can't contest, just because. Particularly, how people like sneak a random uppercut crushing blow, and it's the same thing for a fatal blow. They sneak it into somewhere where it doesn't belong, and all of a sudden the armor's activated, and you're getting disrespected for 30. It sucks.
I agree.
So kind of saying,
I feel
like Tekken Super, where it's like everyone, where even like I would still agree that after it lands, you lose it for the rest of the game, but take it away if it gets blocked. It's like Tekken's is once you get it at that like 30% threshold, you get it back every round, but if you use it, you lose it forever. Like you lose it for the rest of that round. So like you kind of want fatal blows to work in that similar type of way that how Tekken does.
And I think all the rage arts are punishable. The rage drive, which is the other thing you can use it on, because Tekken has multiple uses for it. Some rage drives have different properties. Some of them are like combo extensions or are plus on block or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, it is like you get to choose to activate this. Once it's been done, you've made that decision. You don't get to then try to sneak another one in there and go for the post fatal blow game again or whatever. And that's what I don't like, is that it comes back.
Yeah, I feel like it should be like, and then I'll open it up to you, Shock. I feel like it almost would be more beneficial if it was more along the lines of like Street Fighter, where Street Fighter, they like, Crispy was saying, you have to have your meter in order to use it. In Street Fighter, they have the critical arts, and you have to have 3 bars of like meter saved up in order to even use it. And I feel like it's just a little too easy to have, like you were saying, Dream, just to have it there, use it if it gets blocked, and you don't get punished. Man, that's a double win-win, because you get another opportunity to possibly use it again. And go ahead, Shock.
Yeah, I feel like there's really good and bad with fatal blows. Mostly, in my opinion, bad. Like, there's some character diversity that is really cool with fatal blows. Like, for example, Johnny Cage with the cancel, and there's some really awesome tech with Kung Lao's fatal blow. It depends how you define awesome, but I can put 2 orbiting hats around me, and then I can just do a fatal blow for free, and I'm actually plus a block at times. It's really dumb, but it's also really cool. It makes the character different at times. And in the Frost matchup, especially in the Frost matchup versus Kung Lao. In my opinion, this 6-4, but if she throws a projectile and I have Fatal Blow, she's absolutely 100% dead. I think that's cool and dumb at the same time. Reason being it's dumb is because nobody needs to be getting hit for an unbreakable 32% from mid-screen. And I just think Fatal Blows in general just shouldn't exist, because how is somebody going to be at 45% and you're at 1% and the game is exactly the same? Like, there's no life lead difference. Like,
yeah, but the games need to have a comeback factor. Comeback factor is fun for players.
I feel like there's a way.
Viewers.
Yeah, right. I was just about to get into that.
Comeback factor needs to exist to some degree. I don't want to feel like, oh, my opponent took an early life lead and I don't have a chance. Now I have to claw my way back, and there is no like sequence of events that I can choreograph to really turn this one around. Like, it's going to still take all day. Like, I have this big explosive tool that I can use, and it's very deadly when it comes out.
Right. I think that's cool too, but have you ever played Soul Calibur 6?
Yeah, I've played Soul Calibur 6.
I really like the soul charge mechanic in Soul Calibur 6. So basically how it works is you take a bar meter away, and essentially you reset neutral, and your character is charged up Super Saiyan style. They have all these amazing new tools they can do. I wish Mortal Kombat had something like that. This is more like a what if scenario, but like say like Scorpion would just like take off his mask and become like a fire raging demon and just get like 4-3 is now like 9 frames or something.
Oh, that would be dope.
That would be so cool. Yeah, or like Kung Lao, like the Great Spirit of Kung Lao literally just goes inside him. He turns blue and he's just fucking...
That would be sick.
Jump-ins, go further. That would be amazing. But Fatal Blow, the reason I don't like it as much is because it's just guaranteed you win when you hit somebody. You know, like there's no decision-making process. Oh, we got hit by a 7-frame jab. Oh, just you're dead. I'm sorry. There's no breaking away from that. And that leads into another topic, like the breakaway system. Like... some characters abide by it, some characters live and die by it, some characters completely ignore it completely, and that's one thing. Another thing I really don't like about the game is the breakaway system is cool at times, but more often than not it is just not spread around the cast properly how they abide by it.
Yeah, it's not perfectly, it's not well thought out. I like that they changed it up from doing combo breakers yet again, and that they didn't decide to, for example, like, you know, introduce injustice clashes into the game. They decide, okay, we need something new, we need something different, we're managing meter differently, what can we do that's different? So I appreciate the idea of them going for something different. I do, however, think that this particular system is not fully thought out. There are cool ideas with it, but it's not fully interacted with properly by the whole cast. Like, you know, some characters completely ignore it, and it feels like the characters that do ignore it, it doesn't feel like they're designed around the fact that they ignore it. Like, Sub-Zero doesn't give a fuck about your breakaway. And the only thing about Sub-Zero that feels like it's designed with that in mind is that his armor breaker sucks. You know what I mean? But that's something that was done afterwards.
Yeah.
But from the ground up, the game was not done with like, oh yeah, breakaway is cool, and also Sub-Zero, speaking of Fatal Blow, can chunk you for 45%, and he's one of the best mixed characters in the game, and he's also one of the few privileged characters with a 6-frame poke. Like, some of the stuff feels like it wasn't fully considered, and in breakaway in particular, it just feels like this was not distributed properly. It's a cool idea. I understand the like what you're going for here. It's a good call to some extent, but man, this is not executed properly. This feels like there are some big problems with it.
Yeah, not to mention the input.
I agree.
Not to mention the input. The input is still atrocious.
The input is awful.
Atrocious. Ugh, atrocious. Oh god. It's terrible, alright? That's all I'm trying to say.
It should be down in LT.
Hey, dude,
Down
tell
in LT
me.
would make
All
so
right,
much
little off topic here. What is LT for? What is the stance?
Throwback bullshit
me and
from
Crispy-
MK vs DC.
God.
It's just like some
Me and
buttons that they
Crispy
put on
actually
the
been
pad
over
that they
this.
don't know what to do with.
Go ahead, Shock.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There's some like it's like a useless character tool, right? So like you know how Green Arrow would use LT to put his arrows away, even though it could have been a different command. Like there's examples like that. But there's one character in this game that utilizes stance switch, and I'm sure Crispy knows what I'm about to say, and it is Kano. So Kano, when he does Vegemite,
yeah, that's the only time I've used it. The only time.
Yeah, and you can hide it by, you know, turning the other way. And some characters, that seeing if he has that on is detrimental to the matchup. Like, for example, Kung Lao. I can't throw a Z hat if he has Vegemite on, but if he doesn't have it on, I could actually control space with Z hat. And when Crispy knows that, he just stance switch.
You can just pay attention. Like, you can
I know I could just... I know I can. But when the round's over... Yeah, it literally lasts for like 25 seconds, and when the round's over and I can't see his chest and I want to throw a Z-hat at the round start but don't know if he has Vegemite or not because like it's a few seconds, like it's
carry
tough
over
at times.
between rounds?
Yeah,
that would be one of the few tools that does that then, because
yes, it does.
Very few other items stick around between rounds. I can't think of anything else that does off the top of my head of like a temporary item that doesn't go away between rounds.
Yeah, Vegemite sticks around.
Yeah, that's actually another thing. If I end the round with a dive kick with Kung Lao, I could just start the round with a dive kick, meter burn, or no crushing blow because
I know. Well, that stuff I know carries over, but I mean like Kung Lao can't orbiting hat at the end of a round and start round two with the hat still around. Like everything typically has a duration that is not longer than the between rounds. So like I even think like Scorpion's Searing Rage. I can't think of even Scorpion, and that stays for a while. But even that, you light the kunai up at the very end, and I feel like it still goes out by the time the two characters brush themselves off and fight is called again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, I think Vegemite is the only thing.
Interesting.
It might be possible that Raiden's Raijin, like the discharge, it might stay.
Oh yeah, his actually does it? No, it doesn't, right?
I feel like it doesn't. I feel like that thing only lasts like 10 to 8 seconds.
It lasts
8 seconds is like the time between.
Oh okay.
Yeah, I remember one time I was fighting a Raiden, and he actually there was like the round started, and it was a specific round taunt that was extremely fast with the Raiden, where he just goes backwards and does the lightning thing with his hands and goes into like a T formation, and he says everyone has a path. That's his like fastest round taunt, and I remember a Raiden actually did the lightning launcher right at the round start, and it was like he only had 1 second left with it. And I was like, what the hell?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, maybe some stuff lingers long enough, but it's not very. Yeah, it's not very. It sounds like in the Kano particular, like he gets to keep it for a lot longer than other stuff if it comes up more often, because it feels like it'd be very fringe for most of the other buffs to end up having that sort of occurrence.
Kano also has a glitch. His chest pump will, like the glow will disappear, but he'll still have the armor.
Oh yeah.
Well, then it doesn't matter what way he's facing. Then it doesn't even matter.
Well, it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's not that it's good. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, that was just the only thing that stance switch is really used for, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of.
The only thing I've ever seen it used for is baiting people.
Shimming people.
You use it as a false movement. Like, hey, I quickly stance switched, and the opponent thinks that that's a fireball or a jab or a throw or literally anything. And in terms of stuff that you can do that is movement, a flip stance is the quickest thing in terms of recovery that you'll be able to block right after. Like even whiffing a jab has way longer recovery than just flipping stance real quick. So if you're trying to startle your opponent with some movement, it can work. Not going to guarantee to work, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to honestly be common, but in those sort of tense situations and matches, it can come up. But for the most part, that button is useless, and it's just like this weird throwback to the fact that the characters have like 3D. They use 3D models and hurt boxes and whatever, and because of the fact that the characters use their front and back limbs, there needed to be a way to like have them switch sides and do that. Like for example, like I guess the other games that don't do it, like Tekken, I think when Vega switches sides, his claw switches. and I'm not 100% sure on that. Well, yeah, it's a similar thing with Hellboy, but initially they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to have like the character's arms switch like that. So for Scorpion, if he's got a sword in his hand, he just puts it in his other hand, and that feels more natural than his hand that is made of a sword somehow swapping over or whatever. So they wanted to have a way to handle that. It feels like just like a weird throwback thing that they put in there before they fully knew what they were doing, and now it's like stuck in there. Because the only other thing it does is it helps do fatal blows, right? But there are ways that you could input fatal blows. Like, I mean, we all could have much like, every Street Fighter super is like an exaggerated input of something else. We could all figure out how to deal with, having to do a fatal blow with down, forward, or, using 2 buttons on a special move for the first time ever would be like the only thing. And yeah, you'd fuck it up and get the wrong thing all the time. Get good, I guess. I don't know. It's better than having this fucking useless ass button. And the way that the 3D hitboxes fucking work, and that people can like whiff stuff because your character's facing the wrong way, and they have stuff like that. And like Fujin's brutality only works if you have your back to the opponent or whatever. Like his back for his sweep brutality, like it's part of brutality requirements. It's such a weird like throwback thing that it's become almost too ingrained into the system. They have to like fully jettison it out, and I don't think they ever will. I think it's stuck like this.
I do think so as well. And just like it's part of the mercy input too, so I think that's like another thing that solidifies that it's here to stay. Like they're just gonna keep using it as a throwaway button that they'll just use for miscellaneous stuff.
I really wish they would use it for Breakaway though. I think we can. It would be a big quality of life if they switched it to Breakaway. I think that their total silence on it and lack of change, however, means that they don't care. Like that's what I think, and not in like a really negative they don't care way, but like a kind of factor of like, this is the game we've designed, this is how it's been built, this is what you guys are playing, we're not changing it. And like, I don't know what the real, like the major impetus behind refusing to change it might be, but it seems like this has been such a no-brainer change and so obvious and would harm so few. It's like a unanimous thing. It wouldn't all of a sudden buff Breakaway because you can do it differently. Like, everybody would love this. And the only reason I feel like for them to not do it is because they just don't want to. They don't care that we want it changed, and they're not going to change it. Heartless.
Right. I agree.
Heartless, he says.
I don't really have anything to add.
Crispy, do you want to add anything to that, or shall we move on to the next topic?
Stand switch?
Anything that we've discussed. If not, I can move on to the next topic, which I'm very interested to move on into.
You can move on.
All right, so seeing that we have you guys here, you guys are definitely, and I'm going to say this, specialists of your character. If we want to start off with Crispy, tell us, who do you play? Just so if everybody here is not familiar with you, who do you play? What changes would you like for your character? And if there are, what problems that you would like changed for your specific character?
What if I...
Give us your main, basically. Oh, you can give us as many as you want, dude.
Well, I play Kano, Joker, and Kollector. I guess I can go over Kollector. Probably the most relevant. I think Kollector's issue is that he doesn't have a 7-frame stand one or a 7-frame poke. So fastest button is 8 frames. So in those situations, it's minus. He can't take his turn back on some things because it's really bad. He loses poke wars. On top of that, he also has a really useless move when he absorbs a projectile with his lantern. If you EX it, you get a ball of light that comes out, and that ball of light can absorb a projectile, and it also does damage. It damages the opponent if it touches them, and it travels like a foot in front of him and then disappears. It's the biggest waste of meter in the world against Buzzsaw.
So do you think it should last longer?
Yeah, I think it should last longer and go further. On top of that, crushing blows are really bad. His stand 2 crushing blow, the counter hit where you get 277 damage, there's no point in hitting that crushing blow because you could get more damage off of stand 2 bola into the regular combo down 2, even if they break away. If they break away, you get more damage. There's no point of hitting that crushing blow unless it just so happened that they pressed after stand 2. His whiffing issues off of forward 1-2, not his whiffing issues, his bola doesn't connect off of forward 1-2 at max range. And then even
doesn't have enough cancel advantage.
Yeah, even yesterday I was playing Shock and like forward 1 whiffed. He walked into the 2 last hits of forward 1-2, and then I did bola, and it still whiffed, and it looked like it was gonna work. What else was it? Shock, do you remember anything else from that?
Yeah, Kollector. His, what do you call it? His stand 1 is horrible. That's all. I feel like they should buff his stand 1, and I feel like the character will be.
Is it really that bad?
Better.
What's the big problem with it? Is the frames are really bad?
Yeah, well, it's a really bad stagger. It's extremely reactable when it comes to jab staggers. It's 8 frames. It's -2 on block.
Low. He's got the low.
Yeah, he's got that low. That's an amazing stagger.
See, that's what I was just going to get into. Kollector's command grab is a mid, so you naturally want to jump it, right? So how are you supposed to shimmy somebody with a low hitting move when they're supposed to jump when you're shimmying them? That's just a bad design, I feel like. Obviously, he has other mids you can shimmy with, but those buttons also whiff on characters that hold up all the time. And I feel like if they would just buff either forward 1 or buff his other mids to have a better victim region when they get hit, so they can land when somebody's already jumping, the character would like skyrocket. But as it is now, you have to do 1-3 with Kollector if you think somebody's gonna jump, because you shimmy them, and even that whiffs a lot. And that's why I have this problem with his stand 1. His stand 1 is just, it's okay. It's not that it needs to be broke. It's just that he can't do anything when somebody's -8, like a lot of the other characters can. They can get at least like a 2%. Like, no, plus 14 now. Oh, what am I gonna do? I think you get it. Anything you want to add, Crispy?
If they don't add any of that, I would kindly ask that they remove the flawless block gap from 4-4.
It's never gonna
Somebody post the Ed Bone pic. Somebody post it.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. There's actually something else with Kollector. On spare change, the entire thing that makes a variation is the 3 custom slots. Like for example, I still have back in the pack without that up mace, right? I don't need the up mace to have back in the pack. The spare change, you have the projectile, the dot damage, and then you need another slot to actually throw both projectile and dot damage in the air. Like you have an entire slot is used up for that. And so I don't understand why it's not 2 slots instead of 3. Like why can't Kollector put on the projectile and be able to throw it on the ground and the air, while Jackie only uses 1 slot for both the projectile and dot damage, and she could do them both on the ground and the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the problem in the variation system itself. The variation system is really awesome. It's an awesome idea, but it's not really done well in practice. Like in Melina, she has to spend extra slots. Yeah, she has to spend extra slots to do her Psy move in the air, to do a low Sly. And meanwhile, you have characters like Cetrion that can do their move close, medium, far, very far, meter burn in the air, close, medium, far, very far. She can do it varying times, and it's just base. Doesn't make sense. But anyways, that's the topic.
One of the characters that has really poor options in terms of like the variation system. Like, what else are you going to pick with that character? Like, playtime and the command grab feel semi-mandatory, and it'd be less of the case if they weren't up against just such awful dog shit other abilities. Like, the other options for her are not great. Nothing stands out as really strong, which is why you very often will see that particular bundle coupled with, one other ability to kind of flavor it up. But for the most part, it's still a very set, like, okay, playtime and the command grab are going to be on there. And then, what's the flavor ability to top it off? And there are too many characters.
I feel the same way with Scorpion.
But yeah, Scorpion is very similar, right? They're going to be playing with Reborn, and then they have an extra or the teleport cancel, I should say, and then there's like an extra ability that depending on the play style or whatever they'll put on, but it doesn't make a big giant impact even too. It's right. It's like that third ability
in both cases is not some big crazy strong ability. Not that it needs to be, but it's just like, you know, the main star of the show is clearly the teleport cancel and how they end up working that. And there could be more love given to make some other abilities more viable, more competitive, and like certain characters, you know, Cetrion, she has so many cool things base, and then yet you look at some of her abilities and it's like, why would you ever take, you know, the auras that don't ever see any play when compared to everything else? Like, I mean, Cetrion's one of those characters that has like a definitive, why would you play anything but this kind of build? And that's one of those where you have to break that up, right? They have to make something in there 2 slots or fix or change something, because it's like this is stagnating the game plan even for these players, right? Like every Cetrion does the same thing and nobody plays any of the other abilities because they fucking suck.
Absolutely, I agree. There's some abilities in this game, like you just said, that are just completely horrible, and they just need to rework a lot of this stuff. And I'm just really hoping that there's one more big patch that revamps the point system and all that. But I don't know if I have enough faith in NRS to do such a big project like that, because they would just, there's so many controversies with certain moves, like Jackie's Leap, you know, obviously being one of the best moves in the game, and Cetrion's Twister being one of the best moves in the game. Like, how are you going to slot those moves? Those moves have to be 2 slot, like logically, but it would just make the character so much more stale. So where do we go from here? And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
I don't know how I would do it personally. Stale. If they made those 2 slots, that wouldn't make them stale. The current state of Jackie is stale because it's all the same. If you were to force it into 2 slots, then it would allow some players to still do, like, for example, if the upgradedness of upgrade, I mean, we all know it's shrapnel cancel and the leap. If those 2 together were 3 slots, so you could just do that, and then you couldn't have a ground pound or a plasma flavor ability, it would introduce, I think, players that still wanted to play the upgraded stuff, but it wouldn't be quite as powerful because it wouldn't have the low ground pound mix or the plasma dot damage, extra bonus damage, and that would then open the door for people to start to play with lethal clinch and the hyper knee and using the rocket. I mean, me and Junk, I think we brought it up last time, we've never seen somebody use a rocket. Nobody has. I've never been shot by a Jackie rocket. It's never fucking happened. And it's not
to see
because Jackie rockets are bad, because they're not bad. They do decent stuff in the corner. They don't seem awful in terms of anti-air and speed and yada, yada, yada. Like, they don't seem bad, but they're just not anywhere near as good as the upgraded build. And I think that if you break up some of those upper abilities, that will then buff up some of these abilities that aren't necessarily awful, but they just don't stand up enough to the current ones. I mean, there are abilities like Cold Shoulder, right, for Sub-Zero, which is like objectively bad, and you'll probably never see it again unless it changes.
Yeah.
Sure. But there are also abilities like Jackie's Lethal Clinch, which is a good move, and all that it would take to make that move, you don't need to buff Lethal Clinch. You just need to make fucking upgraded not so obnoxiously good, and people will start to gravitate over to some of the other Jackie options. I think even the same could potentially go for Shiva, right? You take away how great the Dragon Drop is, or make that not allowed, or whatever, then people will start to maybe experiment with some of the other shit from Shiva's kit, and then it's not going to be a top 8 of stomping Shivas. You might still have Shivas coming through, but their game plan will be that much more varied, and they'll be willing to dip into the kit and use some other abilities from it.
I just want to come in and say, this is why... Oh, we lost Zcytheshock. This is why I love Kano so much, because I feel like he's one of the very few characters that has a lot of abilities to his disposal that you can mix up. What up, Shock? We got you back. And I'll give it back to you, Crispy, so you can kind of finish what you were saying about your characters. But that is why I love Kano so much, because he has so many diverse things that you could do with his variation type. I mean, like, I just saw Biohazard doing the PlayStation, invitational thing. I forgot what it's called, ESL or whatever.
Tournament Power?
Yeah, no, not Tournament Power. The ESL thing where he was using Vegemite, the Manhandled, and the Command Grab. And like,
Yeah,
dude, you
yeah,
have
it's
that.
really good.
You have
It's amazing.
acid command grab, and you know, you can go acid command grab and then manhandled. You can do snake bite, acid. You can do snake bite, manhandled. You can do snake
People
bite,
do the
command
suck.
grab.
I see a lot of the suck every
And
now
then
and
people
too.
you then even that you have like the neutral based Kano where you have the suck, you know, with the biomagnetic pole. I haven't seen anybody using the ground thing where he throws his chest piece on the ground
Same.
to kind of lock him down.
It
That's
has to use.
but it does,
It
but
makes your
that's
projectile
the
mid.
least used one. But there's so many different versions of Kano
I
that
haven't
I've
seen
seen.
anybody using the laser either. Sadly,
Yeah,
I
it
think
falls
if
off,
laser
dude.
Was a,
It's too
uh,
slow.
If it didn't replace the knife and it was a alternate, just like this dude's ducking my knives all day. Let me throw out a mid beam that has a cool crushing blow attached to it. It would start to make it more viable, but
More appealing, yeah.
The other abilities on the list are too strong. And when you also say, "Hey, we're going to take away your already decent fireball," I really think it becomes a case of way too many abilities that replace a core ability, a base ability, have to make really, really strong arguments for why I'm taking that. And too many of them, it's not good enough. Cold Shoulder, Scarlet Blood Tongue thing, Kung Lao spin, like almost every move that is going to be a replacement, a hard replacement of something else, is very rarely up to snuff on these good moves. I don't know how they rectify that, but I mean, oh yeah, Cetrion, the thing that replaces Rockwall, there's another one. That move is fucking garbage. And it's like, if I'm going to, I want more stuff, and very rarely do I want to replace something and get it. I mean, there are things like Jade's Delia's Dance, which are, it's so good that it becomes worth it, but very many of the moves are like, this move is good enough. I'm not going to bother replacing it. I'll take some of these other really strong moves and just keep this one intact. I'd like to see more laser, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen unless they make it no longer sort of conflict with his base knives. Those are so good.
Right. I wish a lot of those moves wouldn't conflict at all, and they would be so useful. Like there's so many uses for Kung Lao's Vortex that I've lapped. There's a lot of uses for that, and there's a lot of really simple ways they can buff it. But anyways, I'm gonna let you continue, Chris, before I go too far.
Well, I think I said all I said about Kollector, but you know, for a while I was definitely a 100% not a down player with Joker, but I didn't see the huge issue with it until I ran into a Joker in tournament, and I realized this character is actually stupid. I would love for Joker to get nerfed as if I'm playing against him, but I wouldn't want Joker to get nerfed if I am playing him. But I think it's a serious problem.
Biased.
And then Kano, I don't really.
Yep.
Kano's just fine how he is. His main string is like the mix. It's actually fake. You need to go lab that crap. It's fuzzyable. Shock does it all the time, and I feel like
no, it's fuzzyable. But if I'm fuzzying, I'm not doing a number of things. Go ahead.
But regardless, though, like people, I think that's something that I was kind of looking at with Joker. Like I felt like people were playing the wrong parts with Joker. Like some people thought that you could just throw everything out and that you couldn't punish Jack in the Box. You know, like they thought I could do 1, 2, 3 Jack in the Box. It just resets to neutral and it's still my turn. But I'm like, dude, I can't throw that out. I can get full combo punish. You just have to lab. Depending on the character, obviously. But they didn't know they could punish half the options they could. That's the thing that really frustrates me about people not labbing in this game.
Dude, that's everywhere too. Nobody labs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this everywhere.
Yeah.
Not here.
Like my character needs buffs. This character's not good. What's wrong with my character? It's like, have you actually put some time and real work in, or are you just complaining because it's easy or perceived to be easier for other characters? I mean, that's just look at Fujin, right? Fujin, everybody was like, yo, Fujin sucks. Fujin's awful. I don't know how to make Fujin work. Fujin's garbage. Now Fujin, without the devs really making significant changes to him, just won a huge tournament and is being played by one of the best players in the scene. And I don't want to hear, oh, Ninja Killer can make any character work. It's not that Fujin's good. No, dude, it's that Fujin's fucking good, and the rest of the Fujin community needs to really step up. And it's not that they aren't. Hayate's had really good runs with the character too. Like the Fujin community is doing good now, but like that character has what it takes to get the job done. And if you are a Fujin player and you're struggling, just keep at it, keep grinding, keep working at it. You will figure it out. I think Zcytheshock, if you've been a dedicated Lao player, I'm sure that you saw at the beginning of the game, a bunch of the Lao community was like, yo, fuck this shit. I can't dive kick 4 times in a combo. I'm out. I don't want anything to do with this. What happened to my Lao? But now that you've dedicated some time to the character...
For sure. Before we continue too far, I want to go back to Fujin. This is a really big debate with me and Crispy, but before we even get into that, I would like to say, for the record, I've always thought Fujin would eventually be top 5. There's no way a character with that many tools would never be top 5. I've always thought that. Day one, I got my hands on him. Oh my god, this character is going to be top 3, there's no way. Like, I'm going to see this character in every tournament. He wasn't as broke as I thought he was going to be, but he definitely has so many things that I didn't even know he had either. And just full screen slides, 3/4 screen launchers, plus 4 launchers in the corner, 7-frame crushing blow that does 28% with good Oki. The character is really good. Yeah, I agree with you completely, DreamxEater. Would you like me to continue with our topic?
Yeah, if Crispy has nothing to add for his, you can go ahead and open it up to the characters that you play. What changes would you like for them, and what kind of hinders your character?
All right, Crispy, are you done? Would you like to talk about Joker at all?
I was gonna say with no, Joker's I already said it, but with Kano it's like the same thing. People play the wrong parts with Kano. They think like, oh, his mix that's super strong, but really it's just that his forward 1 is crazy good, and his knife forward 1, knife, and command grab are his strongest thing. And
when you say knife, do you mean his projectile?
Yeah.
That knife is really good.
So little recovery.
I love it.
It's great.
As a Kano player myself, I love it, dude. All right, so
I just wish I had cooler animation.
Yeah,
not that I play Kano.
It would be, dude. You give him a shot, man. Take a break on that loud. Give your boy Kano a jump. All right, Kano, maybe not. All right. Let's get into your characters. Who do you want? Who do you play? What do you like about them? What changes would you like, and what hinders them?
Gotcha. So I used to be a day 1 Liu Kang main, but I no longer really play Liu Kang at all.
Get out.
I think
Get out of the podcast right now.
The last time I played Liu Kang was a long time ago, so I've abandoned Liu Kang. And then after the first month of MK, I really dug Kung Lao. I've always liked Kung Lao. But anyways, that's besides the point somewhat. Kung Lao, he's come a long way. I never thought the character was officially bad because he had somewhat of a throw loop. He had a pretty good auto shimmy. By pretty good, I mean really good online. And he had a 10-frame mid. So these are all the things you need to be an amazing strike throw character. So I never thought Kung Lao was bad, even though Kung Lao was like considered to be bottom 5 by a lot of people at the beginning of the game. Nick Ops, namely, I've had a few back and forths with that guy in the comment sections defending Kung Lao, but
yeah, I don't know. His opinions are very, very dipped in personal bias. That's for sure.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Which, I mean, that's how opinions are formed, right? So
for sure, I agree. But when a character objectively has like good tools, like how are you supposed to argue against that? Like Orbiting Hat, like for example, it's Orbiting Hat is weird to me because I would balance it by making it a high, but I would make it only cost 1 offensive bar, because as I think it is right now, it's a balance in like the worst way possible, but the best way at the same time. Like, I don't know how else I would balance it by keeping it a mid at -4. It's extremely good. It's extremely good, but I just die for doing it at times, because if I do forward 1-3 and I spend 2 bars to be safe instead of -19, some characters it literally doesn't hit them and they can full combo punish me. For example, Kano can just block low and the Orbiting Hat will go right in front of him and he can just full combo punish me. So can Scorpion, so can Liu Kang, so can Cabal. It's a big problem. I wish they would just remove that. But the only thing they could do to buff that would be give Orbiting Hat more range, which I would not agree with, or to give Forward 1-3 more cancel advantage, which I also wouldn't agree with, because Forward 1-3 is just an amazing tool already. But Kung Lao, extremely good. I don't think I would buff anything for this character. If he gets one more buff, he's going to be top 5. People already think he's top 5 in certain instances. I guess one thing that I really didn't like they did with Kung Lao is spiritual guidance used to be a high, and if they blocked the last part of spiritual guidance, because it hits 4 times, if they blocked the 4th hit, I could special cancel it. So essentially I had a special move that was special cancelable. So I would be able to use spiritual guidance 1, and then at the end of spiritual guidance, from 3/4 screen, because that's where the 4th hit hits, I would be able to throw hat toss, and it would be a frame trap. So they would have to respect spiritual guidance 1 from 3/4 screen, and I could just keep looping spiritual guidance 1. I can go pew 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 like over and over again. It was awesome.
That sounds like a bug. That sounds like a bug more than...
It was a bug. It was a bug, but it was awesome. It was an awesome bug. It was character diversity in its finest. I felt like I was rewarded.
In Smash is also a bug, so... Or not intended.
True. That is actually true. It's not intended. But I just don't get why they removed it. It was so awesome. It was great. It was... I felt like I was rewarded for labbing Kung Lao and staying with him through all these months and patches. Like, oh, I get a zone with Kung Lao. Like, this is awesome. I'm glad I stayed with him. But they removed it in Aftermath. It was a bug. They made the move. They made the move a normie move. They made it -8 and they made it a mid. They made it everything that it wasn't. But they removed. They removed the sauce. They removed the sauce. It was a fantastic pizza with amazing barbecue sauce on it. But now it's just...
Oh, he's dropping the sauce. Dang.
Yeah. But now it's just some cheesy breadstick. You know what I'm saying? Not even good. Okay, let me stop. It's really it's a good move. Right, it's still good, but it's not amazing, right? Like, you won't have it every day. You won't use the move like that. Anyways, I'm done with that analogy. This is a really controversial topic, but I feel like I've had Crispy to come over and agree with me, but I don't think Kung Lao is top 10. I think he's top 11. The reason being is because he has too many extremely difficult matchups, and by extremely difficult matchups, I mean maybe not extremely, but they're difficult. So like, for example, Shang Tsung and Spawn being some of the hardest matchups that Kung Lao has. Shang Tsung can just control space, and he can strike throw almost just as good, if not as good, as Kung Lao. So like, where do I catch a break in this matchup? Like, he's better than me everywhere, and he can space control me. What am I supposed to do? But I found a way to deal with that matchup, and is to get him to think I'm always going to do Z-Hat and do that move, then I'll just come in and meaty him when he tries to stop my Z-Hat. But that's still hard. Same thing with Spawn. Spawn can out-damage me. He doesn't have as good strike throw on me. He doesn't have as good pokes as me. When I get in, I can definitely do some really good stuff. But
goddamn down 3.
He does too much. Yeah, exactly. He can't do much about down 3. Spawn does so much damage in that matchup that, on top of the chip damage, it's just how am I supposed to compete? I'm always getting chipped out in that matchup. Like, if I wait it out, I'm always going to get chipped out because he does more damage. Like I said, the character hits for 45% off a 12-frame low. It's ridiculous. But anyways, Spawn doesn't need to be nerfed. I was just ranting.
Dude,
But let me move on to
Buff Spawn,
yes.
bro.
His stand 1 fixed still.
Dude, his stand 1 is actual ass. One of the I know some people say like you could do other things other than jab to like punish like Sub-Zero slide and things like that, but he is one of the 3 characters in the game that cannot jab punish Sub-Zero successful slide. And his jab is also 20 frames of recovery. So even if you do ever anti-air with that atrocious piece of crap, you're not gonna get anything off of it unless you immediately special cancel, which doesn't give you a lot of damage compared to how Spawn normally does. Just he's got way too many problems off of jab.
I'm RoboCopting, huh? Oh, and RoboCop's just fine.
We're not saying RoboCop.
Dude, I'm saying
RoboCop is fine.
RoboCop's jab has twice the range that Spawn's does.
What?
It is twice as long as
I
Spawn's.
disagree. Oh my god, I disagree so much.
Yeah, I
RoboCop's
disagree
down
too.
one
What are
has
you
more range
smoking,
than fucking
dude?
Spawn's. No.
What?
It is so much
Bro,
better
at
than
least-
Spawn's.
RoboCop smooths out.
Dude, RoboCop's Stan
I will
1 is
die on that.
leagues worse than Span 1's.
No, I will die on
Come
RoboCop's
on.
1-2-1
Thank you,
is
Chris.
-8.
Or I
Spawn's
mean,
1-1-2
thank you,
is
Shock.
+8.
Thank you. Thank you. Mother.
1-1-2
Spawn's
that you
1-1
could
is
just
an
jab.
actual.
Yeah, 1-1-2 that you could just jab in between if he tries to go plus frames.
Well, yeah, you can do the same thing for plus frames happening for Liu Kang. What? And you can just go for the non-KB.
I will honestly,
or the
I will
plus
say here,
frames.
I will die on this hill. Everyone can blast me on Twitter. I don't care. I will die on the hill that
I got
RoboCop's jab
you.
is better than Spawn's. You can put me on blast. I don't care. I believe
You're
that
on
jab
blast
that
already,
RoboCop
dude.
has a
You
better-
don't
has a
you
better
don't want your
jab
mind
than Spawn.
changed. I got you, but it's objectively better. I promise you, it's objectively better. RoboCop's Stan 1, it doesn't have as much range as his down 1. RoboCop's down 1 has more range than his Stan 1. How is that? How are you supposed to punish things with a button like that? I get the same issue with Spawn. Like his Stan 1 has too much recovery and it hits too high, but at least Spawn's is an actual auto shimmy last time I checked, and it's +2 on block. And hit confirmable, like extremely. Like it's bad in that aspect, but it's not objectively bad. You know what I mean? Like it has good follow-ups. Well,
Yeah, 'cause I
RoboCop's
would
doesn't.
play- yeah.
RoboCop's 1-2-1 is -8, and it has a
I
huge
played-
gap in it if you do 1-2-3.
I played Robo and Spawn. Like I played both the characters. I've had more success with either just block strings or like actually like hit confirming, just punishing. I've had way more success with doing Spawns or with Robo's jab string than over Spawns. Like I don't rely on Spawn's jab as much as I do with Robo's.
I gotcha. Also, I'm gonna retract on my statement. Spawn's 1-1 is not an auto shimmy at all. It's one of the worst, if it is. It's definitely not. But you don't need an auto shimmy with a character that has gets you hit for 76%.
Let's
For a
make,
grab.
Can we make 3-4 an overhead low, please?
All right,
Thank you.
come on. All right, dude.
let's stop
Okay.
there. Alright, bro.
If you
Let's-
make that happen,
if you're
I
gonna
want
do
back
that-
2 for RoboCop to be an overhead. All right, let's
Dude, I'm
we're gonna
okay
start
with
acting that.
Dude, that benefits me too if back 2's an overhead.
Yeah, okay. Gosh, this guy hopping on the RoboCop bandwagon.
Dude, my RoboCop's better than yours at this point, bro.
Oh, dude, oh my. All right, we're gonna have a RoboCop matchup after this, dude. Anyways,
let's go, bro.
we're gonna open up the discussion a little more. We're gonna hop into some tier
Wait,
list
wait, 1 second.
talks.
I want to say one more thing.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
wanna
Go
say
ahead.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
With my character. So, I want to say quickly that Buzzsaw is. I used to think it wasn't as good as it was, but I think it's extremely brain dead, and I only use it for the really worst matchups.
Especially
that I have,
Jackie.
Like Jackie, you see
Yeah,
me. You seen me
I
use
saw
it against
it.
Jackie. I can cover the air. I
That
can
was
come
sick,
in.
dude.
Yeah, exactly. I had to, man. I had to. You control too much space with Joker. It's not fair. Anyways, Scorpion is another character I really like to play. You saw me use him against Izzy's RoboCop. I busted him out, and I actually did pretty well with him. Scorpion, I feel like his forward 3 is an extremely controversial button, but I always say, in these, if you know me, forward 3 is really the only button Scorpion has.
Dude,
up
flick
close.
kick is so good though. So
It's
good.
amazing, but it's amazing, but at a high level, you're not opening people up with it. Like up close, at least you can open people up in the neutral. You can open people up at around dash distance, but up close, the flick kick is it's a lot to be desired, because I don't know if you guys caught onto micro ducking, but if you forward 3 with Scorpion and you try to grab, and then you forward 3 and then forward 3 again, and somebody's micro duck OSing you, you're not opening those guys up at all. So one buff I would want for forward 3 is to be 1 frame faster, to be 12 frames. It would actually help with that, because micro ducking is Scorpion's worst nightmare when up close at a high level, because you're not opening people up. Like I said, you would have to delay your throw. You would have to get them to micro duck, and then after the micro duck, he would have to throw them, but that lets them mash. And Scorpion does not do very well against mashing. He can obviously down 1, but it's no Jackie forward 3, where he just gets a full combo every time. All of his mids are 13 frames or slower, and I get that teleport cancel is really good, but that's like, I feel like that's all he has. The same with forward 3. He needs something else. He needs
like all he has is the ability to dictate the pace of every single matchup he wants to. Like nobody contains Scorpion. Nobody gets to zone Scorpion out.
He's definitely a neutral master.
I didn't mean to not exaggerate. It's really good. It's really amazing. But should that move really like dictate the rest of his toolkit? Like he doesn't have anything else but that makes him special. That is it. That's all he has. And if he doesn't have that, he's literally bottom 3 in my opinion.
Whoa!
Misery Blade does not cut it. Misery Blade does not cut it.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say Scorpion's bottom 3?
Without telecancel, yeah, without telecancel. With telecancel, he's like mid-tier, you know, like he's definitely not bottom at all.
I don't understand how that can even be like a warranted statement with Justin winning multiple tournaments playing Sad Sword. So
yeah, I didn't say. Well, this is the thing. Just because he's bottom 3 doesn't mean he's a bad character. You know what I'm saying? Like he's bad, but he's not the worst character. There has to be a bottom 3, you know.
I guess technically.
I feel like bottom 3 is too far for somebody who can control the pace of a game. Yeah.
Neutral. I mean, I guess he doesn't do it anymore without teleport cancel, but he still is.
Still, he gets like even if he has like the spear buff, he gets almost 40% off of 1 bar for his combos.
Oh yeah, exactly. He becomes very Spawn-like.
But what I'm saying is, at a high level, to open people up a Scorpion, you have to be you have to have the fucking Sharingan from Naruto. You have to have the best analyzing abilities, like not the best, but you have to have some damn good analyzing abilities. There's no person that's just gonna pick up Scorpion and like win a tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I think he's mid tier. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a Scorpion loyalist, or you have to be you have to have amazing fundamentals.
I don't think
what I'm trying to say.
defines the tier of a character as to how difficult they are. Like tier lists are not built around how hard a character is to win with. If a character takes insane execution but is the best character in the game, then they're not like that. They're the best character in the game, not because their execution's high, but because they're the best. If the character's somehow easy to do, like if Jackie's elite pressure was somehow not execution heavy, it wouldn't change her position on a tier list. I don't think that Scorpion's ability to control the neutral is way too good. I don't think it has anything to do with how hard it is to do it or whatever. That character dictates the pace of every match.
I get really passionate about Scorpion sometimes. I think he's an awesome character.
He's got his opinion, Dream. He's got his opinion. Stuff, you know? It's a little wild, but he's got his opinion. But speaking of tier lists,
I feel like you guys. I feel like we have this clear, right? I said he's bottom 3 without telecancel, right? Because nobody's running Scorpion without telecancel.
We got that.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. You said that, yes, but we're not.
Misery Blade's good, but nobody's. Right, nobody's labbing Misery Blade. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people actually lab Misery Blade,
was labbing it and making that whole variation work.
Yeah,
up until we got customs.
Yeah, but
AJ,
I know.
Justin,
but I'm saying if his opponents lab Misery Blade,
both of them were playing without it.
If somebody actually labbed that variation that knew all the ins and outs of it, he would never get it off on anybody. Like there's no way that hilt bump you can backdash that hilt bump is what I'm trying to say. If he does forward 3 into Misery Blade hilt bump, you can.
He wasn't even using the hilt bump often. It was more as like a
cancel. What is he using Misery Blade for?
The mix.
Cancel. People freeze up when they see it, and they're like, "Oh, what do I do?" And
I got you. So people didn't love it. What I'm saying is, at the highest level, Misery Blade isn't good.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess
at the highest level, Misery Blade isn't good.
Highest level, but up there, I think that it was fine. Now that we're in customs there, though, I think there's credence to the idea that almost nobody is running it. Sure, I think that if you played Sad Sword, it was because you probably liked the neutral jump punch, because that's a fun tool to have, and now you can have that with teleport cancel.
That's what I liked.
I still think Scorpion is super strong.
No, I agree. He's strong. I just think that, yeah.
All right, I want to wrap this section. I want to wrap up this section up and open up a new discussion to tier lists. I want to hear what Crispy and Zcytheshock What are your top 5s? And if they're too similar, we can open up to top 10s, but I want to hear what you guys think and what your tier list ideas are. Go ahead. Let's start up with you, Mr. Fungus. Mr. Fungus.
I think top 5 actually goes Cetrion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Jackie, Joker, and Fujin is 6.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Cetrion, it's like, yeah, I get that Joker's back forward 4 is really stupid as Jack in the Box, and then he could EX it and get a full screen dash up. But remember what I said earlier, like on certain, I can't bust it out on every string and then set neutral. While Cetrion, she's only punishable off of one actual string, and it's not even an actual punish. It's you have to flawless block it, and then you can't even get a full combo some of the times depending on the character. Like Cabal, for example, 14 start up on the up 2, so he can't up 2 it. He can only up 3 it. And then on top of that, she gets rock wall with it. So it's like I have to look for 3 different things, Freaking Flossblock Tornado.
We all know that Cetrion's busted, dude. It's alright, bro.
Yeah.
She's
so forget Cetrion. But I think the biggest issue of the top 5 that I mentioned, besides Joker, is biggest issue is Sub-Zero and Liu Kang for me, because first of all, I don't think Sub-Zero should have slide as a base move. I think it should be shoulder, and slide should be a custom. It just like that before customs, before ultimate, I think Sub-Zero was just around mid-tier. It was just like hard for him to get in if he played Dead of Winter, right? But he had counter zoning. But now he has a slide that controls the neutral. Like, I'm too scared to press a button, and if I try to throw a projectile, he has a anti-projectile. Like, dude, what the fudge am I supposed to do in this situation?
You can swear.
I don't do that personally.
Crispy doesn't swear. He always says fudge. And
then he also, I think the 3 things that should go for him is his slide, his 6-frame down 1, and his backdash startup. His dashing startup in general, his dashing in general speed, movement speed should be kind of nerfed, just a bit. Not like make it Cabal or Baraka, but it's just stupid how he can back 3, backdash, back 3 with punish you because you tried to react to it. And then 6-frame, now that everybody gets 15 frame plus 15 on down 1 hit, it's like 6-frame he can mash on everything and then get a mix right away. And the last one is Liu Kang. I think Liu Kang's ability to just stagger back 1, then back 1, 2, 4. There used to be a 7-frame gap where you could just mash after the 1, 2, 4, and you could prevent him from doing the special
It was a 9-frame.
Oh, whatever. Frame gap, I don't care. There used to be a gap where you could just down 1 and interrupt any special cancel he does, except for parry. And they removed that, and now it's a 7-frame gap, I believe. And It's like, if you are too, because you can't really react to, if you try to react to when he staggers it, he'll be able to get it down 1 in time. You know what I mean? Because you're too afraid to press the button due to the fireballs, low fireball. And so now he can just do back 1, 2, 4. He can try to micro duck, or he could just do 1, 2 right away. And it's like, man, when can I get my turn in this situation? Like I even think his Keyboy game is some of the best in the entire Mortal Kombat right now with his damn low fireball, movement speed. But yeah.
Yeah, Crispy, go ahead. Or go ahead, Shock. Sorry, I keep saying Crispy.
Very good. I'd like to say that I disagree with your backdash nerf to Sub-Zero. I feel like every character should have really good movement, and I don't feel like nerfing somebody's movement is a way to nerf a character. That kind of just nerfs the... Like, how else are you supposed to open? Like, there's a lot of ways, obviously, to open people up in the neutral, depending on how they play. But with punishment is one of the main ways you open people up in MK, and having a good backdash or a good backwards movement is key to that. And I know I get that Sub-Zero has a 50-50, and having really awesome backdash is like one hell of a combo, but it depends. But anyways, yeah, I just disagree with that. And Sub-Zero, he's really good online. Offline, I don't see too many people winning him.
I mean, nobody sees it offline though. Look, Sub-Zero won the last offline that we had. Frosty Faustings.
Did he really?
Was the last. Yes, Frosty Faustings was the last offline event that we
Frosty
had.
champ, baby.
Well, okay, I guess technically the Dragon attempt.
The Dragon, yeah. Actually, yeah, that
Sub-Zero
counts.
didn't win that. That was more recent. But like,
that's what. Okay, I was gonna.
But the idea that we haven't seen Sub-Zero winning, you haven't seen anybody win except for the one character that won Dragon Temple. Like everybody, nobody's playing offline. Offline is. Granted, there is genuinely a difference between offline and online. I'm not trying to say that there's not. Rollback keeps the difference pretty close.
Pretty similar.
Not, yeah, exactly. They are very similar to one another, but I think that there are definitely characters that may excel or improve a little bit in an offline environment or whatever. But we haven't been able to see anybody playing offline. Like right now, the only results we really have to go on are online. And even in the case of the We Play event, like that was a one-time thing. Like that didn't rewrite the books for characters because we had to go right back to offline. That wasn't that wasn't like the case of like it's fixed, we can go back to doing our offline events. Now we're still stuck in this online era for a while. I'm sure the game will have a little bit of a mix to it once we get back to online or offline for sure. Things will change somewhat. Flawless blocking, for example, will become a lot easier for certain things just because, it's that much more reliable. The timings of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting.
I was gonna make the point that Sub-Zero's forward 2, there's a really fine line between 19 frames and like 18 frames and 20 frames at times. Like it's really hard to tell the difference between those things. Obviously, you can't do it, but you can try to like train your brain to create a specific timing or look for a certain thing to look for to like try to tell the difference, and try to defend against things that are differently timed. Like, for example, what I'm trying to get to is Sub-Zero's back 3 is 13 frames and his forward 2 is 19 frames. So you can, technically, if things are done in the first frame, you can fuzzy it. But Sub-Zero's delay their back 3, they delay their forward 2s, they grab you. It's not as easy as that. Sub-Zero, you can somewhat react to his forward 2 offline. That's the point I was going to make. Sonic Fox proved it. He can react to it, but not everybody's Sonic Fox. Obviously, Hayate was offline and he couldn't react to it, or at least he was too scared to try to commit to reacting to it. But my point is Sub-Zero is really good, and I'll just move on to my top 5 list. So we got obviously Cetrion, and then second is Jackie, third is Liu Kang, fourth is Joker, and fifth is Fujin. Pretty standard top 5. The reason I think Fujin is top 5 is, like I said, just with punishment, is his strongest strong suit, and his mobility is just insane.
Yeah, I can see why you put him up there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the results back now too, right? Like the results are there for the character as well.
Absolutely.
I find it funny that everybody puts Cetrion at number 1. Like, or if it's not like ordered correctly, she's still top 5 along with Jackie.
Homie.
Yeah. I mean, Jackie, Cetrion, we hear these names all the time. Jackie, Cetrion, Liu, and Joker. And then that 5th slot is usually mixed up between a couple of other characters. I mean, in Titanium Tiger's world, he's probably putting Kotal or Shiva in the top 5, but it's always that 5th spot.
Titanium actually said Shiva's top 15. Yeah, he doesn't think Shiva's top 10.
Oh, either way, I think I heard him say that Kotal was top 5, but
yeah, I think he said Kotal.
Yeah, I agree. Kotal's my number 6. Kotal's my number 6. He's super good.
Dude, he's insane. He's got insane damage. Good health.
He's some of the best 50-50s in the game. Yeah.
Half screen mid.
2. Right.
It's crazy.
Half screen safe mid that leads to plus frames. Like it's pretty whack and insane. I actually have him like
a down 4 that leads to an unblockable.
Yeah, that is a guaranteed. At least we're guaranteed unblockable.
Right, like that's an amazing tool.
Yeah, I have him tied at 5th with Fujin just because of how much stuff he has, and he doesn't have that many. Like, sure, he's got losing matchups, but he doesn't have that many drawbacks to how many good things that character has going for him.
What matchups does he lose? I wasn't aware he had any losing. That was amazing.
Well, if he doesn't have Cat, it's mainly zoners that he kind of suffers against. But once he has Cats, he basically just doesn't really have a matchup that he kind of loses.
I gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, Cat Kodal is.
It's just all depending on his variation of if you can counterpick this character or not.
Gotcha. I think that Kodal, command grab, Cat Kodal, and the disc that resets the neutral back forward 3 meter burn is. I think that's the best Kodal that when it comes to just covering anything. That's what makes Kodal amazing. Because I feel like he doesn't have a losing matchup.
It's the Cetrion thing. It's you have this, sure, you can do damage totems. You can do damage totems, but at the same time, you still have an answer to every single matchup, so you don't really need to swap to anything else.
Yeah, I agree. Can we move on to top 10 since we're kind of lingering in that area?
Absolutely, dude. Go right ahead.
All right, I think number 7 is, I don't know, my top 10 is a little misordered. I don't know how I would order it, but this is just in general.
Yeah, don't worry about the order. Just give us the characters.
Yeah, so Kodal, number 6, but then these ones are not ordered. Kano, Garrus, Sub, and Noob Saibot. So I think that Noob Saibot is number 10 because his down 4, in my opinion, I would like to hear your thoughts on this, Dream, but I think his down 4 is completely an autopilot button. I think it's one of the best buttons.
Talking about Noob?
Harsh, but
yeah, where he does that sickle slam
really
down
good.
on the floor.
Down 4, it's the same frames as his down 3, so there's very minimal use to even using down 3 anymore. It feels like down 3 is only used to low profile stuff.
I think maybe down 3 has slightly more range.
Maybe, but for the most part, down 4 is just the way to go across the board. It's so good. It covers every up
it's an anti-air, it's a poke, it's it's got everything.
Yeah, I guess the problem.
It's got a mind game on it.
One of the problems with, I guess, between the down 4, down 3 mind game is that on hit for a down 3, I get to pressure follow up, whereas down 4, it's got that you knock their foot back, so they take a big step back. Yeah, so because of that, I'm way more plus, but I also lose a bunch of distance that I can't do much.
Gotta move up.
Yeah, so in the corner, very different game, but also for a character that doesn't necessarily want to be getting up close and personal. I think that it ends up not being awful for the form anyway, but yeah, the down 4 is actually quite a good move for Noob Saibot. And it wasn't always like that. They had to buff it to change it, but since then it has definitely come to prominence.
Yeah, down 4 was the defining factor that, because Kung Lao is my number 11, down 4 was the defining factor that led to me switching Kung Lao Noob Saibot out, because I used to initially think that Kung Lao was top 10, but the down 4 is just way too good. It covers so much space, it's a low, it's got a mind game on it, it's only -7 at times, usually -8 to -9. It's anti-air, it's an amazing button. But yeah, and his forward 2-2 and the shadow slide, not a lot of characters can punish it, but forward 2-2 in general, just resets the neutral, and that's exactly what Noob Saibot wants, and he could just play his game all over again. I get it, it's a high, but it's a really hard button to punish. The only solid way I punished Noob Saibot's forward 2-2 is flawless block to second hit, but even that's pretty tough. But anyways, yeah, Noob Saibot's amazing. Like I said, characters with command grabs are extremely good, so that's why I got 3 command grab characters in my top 10: Kodal, Garrus, and Sub. Garrus, y'all know who Garrus is. He's got countless nerfs in the past, but his mid command grab still stands. That's why he's top 10 in my book. He's got 4-2 and 2 command grab.
He's also a great zoner plus anti-zoner. Anyone that tries to zone
at times,
Garrus has to unless it's maybe Jade doesn't really have to worry about that, but most characters, if you're trying to just brainlessly zone out Garrus, if he's got quicksand, you're gonna have to second guess what you're doing, or else you're gonna either eat a fat crushing blow or he's instantly in on you doing his mix up command grab game.
for Jade.
Oh, it does beat the glow? Oh, okay. Well then.
Glow.
Yeah.
Granted, Jade players can use Airglaive and just float above it, so they can still be tough for gears, and they can avoid that spot on the screen where it can be problematic. But in terms of just like not having like being able to glow through it, nope. The quicksand beats the glow. I think Gears is a good contender.
Okay. So he's just overall like with the sand clone plus like maybe sand pillar and quicksand, he's got some of the best zoning, and if not the best anti-zoning in the game.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. His anti-zoning is amazing. But as a Kung Lao player, I can actually like on-read almost anywhere on the screen except full screen. I can just dive kick and punish him with forward 2. It's kind of tragic, but yeah. So I give Garrus versus Kung Lao is like, I don't want to say this, but it's just a hot take. It's like borderline 6-4 Kung Lao's favor because 2-2 jails on Garrus. I can punish Sand Trap easily. He doesn't have a solid way to deal with Z-Hat because if I'm dive kicking all the time and in the air, he can't release his hand trap all the time because he's risking like half his health bar every time he does it with forward 2. And yeah, Kung Lao does really well against Garrus. And another thing that I really wanted to add, but I forgot about my character panel, that like what people should do with my character more. I feel like people should pick up Kung Lao against Shiva if a Shiva is just stomping all the time, because Kung Lao has one of the few abilities where he can just hide in the ground. And just nullifies stomp.
Oh yeah,
he can just hide
Never
in the
thought
ground,
of that.
and he can come up and punish drag and drop at any time. It's an amazing tool, and not only that, but Shiva really doesn't have a solid answer against Kung Lao's down 3. And on top of all of that, Kung Lao's 2-1-2 jails on Shiva, so it's a plus auto shimmy online. It's only an auto shimmy online, but it jails on her. I'm +1. She can't deal with my down 3 first of all. So Shiva versus Kung Lao is the way to go. I feel like that's the future if people really want to counterpick a Shiva player. Everybody needs to pick up Kung Lao.
No more Baraka, huh?
Nope, Baraka it's too much. There's too many, dodging between the lines. You know what I'm saying? Like that spine bursts. Like he can't compete.
Yeah, I tried spine
because
bursting it, and it's sometimes the timing is rough.
She can delay through it. It's still a read. You know what I'm saying? But Kung Lao, it's solidified. Like I'm out of there. I'm not getting hit. We're either resetting the neutral or you're getting punished. It's great. Same thing with Terminator. Terminator can just hide in the teleport.
With the TDE. I don't think it costs meter to hide either. I think you can just meterlessly delay it.
No, it doesn't. But she can punish it if she comes down and you react too slow. So I'd recommend only doing it with bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Spiritual Z-Hat against Shiva, because you don't need meter for your combos. You could just save your meter for hiding in the ground. It would be amazing. But another character. I think we already been over Sub. Sub is just amazing in this game when it comes to the strike throw meta. His forward throw loops, his forward 2 combo, back 3 hit confirmable, 13 frame mid, amazing backdash. One of the problems that I think Sub-Zero faces is that he doesn't have a super solid move that's just out of back 3 range, so he kind of gets bullied a little bit around that range. Like for example, against like a character like Fujin, he only has like slide, and that like Sub-Zero only has this option to slide outside of that back 3 range, but she should have weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Like no character needs to have no weaknesses. Like even Cetron has weaknesses. She only has 8 frame buttons, nothing faster. So that's one weakness. It's not a major weakness, but it's there.
Yeah, she seems fine despite her weakness, quote unquote.
Absolutely, I agree. And I would even call it a weakness because those stand 1 and down 1. Stand 1 and down 1 are just disjointed as hell. So like, how am I supposed to compete with those buttons?
Bro, so disjointed. But if you have anything to add, we can wrap this up and we can start off with our end segment of the podcast. Do you have anything to add, Shock?
I don't know where to put Rain on a tier list. I feel like Rain is really good, but I also feel like in some areas is really bad. So Rain is just an anomaly. He's just floating, watching the tier list around the corners.
Definitely not bottom tier.
Waiting
that's
to
for
be
sure.
placed. Absolutely.
I'd say he's like around top 20, honestly. Like, I don't think he breaks the top 15 where most, like, some of the solid characters are, but he's, like, kind of, like, sitting right below that, like, the mid-tier, like, top 20, maybe, like, like 22 or something around there would be like a fair place to put him.
Yeah. I agree, but there's some matchups where he just completely like steamrolls somebody, like especially like if Hydro Boost jails on you, like it's over. Like
Yeah, if you
GG
get jailed by Hydro Boost, like that's just over. Rain can just control that.
Yeah, the Kung Lao versus Rain matchup, it's funny because my 2-2 jails on Rain, but his Hydro Boost jails on me, so we're both just doing like insane pressure on each other. It's actually a really fun matchup.
I got a question
But
from
anyways,
the
I don't think I
chat,
would think that.
actually. Just a curious question. Where do you guys put Johnny on the tier list? Still top 20?
15.
Top 15?
Top 15. He's top 15.
Top 15 has like 25 characters in it, to be clear.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Well,
I think he's exactly number 15.
oh,
Mhm.
wow. I mean, that cancel is
I
super
can agree
good.
there.
He's still one of the few characters that has a fatal blow cancel, you know, so might
Only
be
two.
His
He's up
leads.
It does. The thing is, like with the,
We're talking about abilities. Here's an ability that has a very restrictive one-time use. Johnny Sunglasses, you do not use it in the neutral. You don't use it any other time than that one time to basically give you access to a double fatal blow in terms of damage output, right? Like you can churn out unbreakable damage that's into the 40s without it being contested, and it's worth it. Like they made that ability strong enough that it ends up being worth it for Johnny players to take. Not every Johnny player's got it, obviously, but those that have it, they're not saying to themselves, "Man, I should not have taken that," because when they get to hit that, it's totally worth it. That's a good ability, I think.
Yeah, going off the fatal blow cancel, like unlike Joker's, like Joker's fatal blow cancel is really good. Like I maybe just haven't labbed it enough, but it's kind of hard to blow him up if you like read that he's going to do the cancel. But what I noticed with Johnny, like
you have to read
anytime they do,
Joker is you read the throw after. That's how you blow Joker up.
well, like there's also Jokers that like I've seen a couple where you do it on block and then you just continue your block pressure instead of just going for the throw.
Oh yeah, there's no way to do
like,
that. I don't know how to do that.
But anytime like I played against a good amount of Johnnies, when I see them going for like the fatal blow cancel on block, you can pretty much like just react and blow Johnny up for any option he goes after canceling it. I've seen like it's really easy, just stop his pressure right away when he cancels.
not if he gets the flash armor.
If he like holds it.
Yeah, if he holds it for a second, he'll get that little.
But he has a
bit of
lot of
armor.
options. He has a lot of options because if he's doing force balls over and over after a string and he decides to do a fatal blow cancel one time, like I feel like there's no way I'm reacting to that. Like if I'm expecting to see force balls and he does the cancel, I'm not reacting to that. I'm getting thrown. I'm getting auto shaving. I'm getting hit every time.
Yeah. It's more so of like when you see him get down to that health percentage, you expect him to at least try canceling it at least one time. So most of the time, like I usually expect that he's gonna do it, but I just feel like the more he cancels on like Joker, it's a lot easier to blow him up for trying to continue his pressure instead of giving up his turn.
Okay, it's cool. I feel like that's yeah. I feel like cancels in general are just really good.
Yeah.
In this game if you have to cancel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mind games you could play.
All right, guys. So before we start cutting things a little short here, we are gonna change gears here, and we're gonna do something a little more laid back. The Mortal Kombat movie trailer just dropped this morning. I'm gonna show the trailer for everybody. For all of you guys who haven't seen it, please unpeel your eyes. Make sure that they're peeled and stick to the screen because we're about to watch it here in a second, and then we're gonna see what everybody thinks. So let's get to it.
First learned about this 7 years ago on a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds. The target had superhuman abilities. It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen.
Birthmark Cole.
throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament
I don't know how I feel about this character.
of champions. That dragon marking?
Calling it now, he's just gonna
I
be
think it's an
Johnny Cage.
invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
These are your champions.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's Jax.
Kung Lao. Lord Raiden. The fate of Earth is in our hands.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground, we will not fail. Kill them. I am Sub-Zero.
Kano wins. You fucking beauty.
You fucking beauty. I love that line so much. Dude, I'm gonna start off with saying Goro looks fucking amazing. They made Goro look mad.
Is he really?
Yeah, dude. Like they showed, like, but he's like jumping up in the air, and like, oh my god, he's coming down. I'm thinking on Liu Kang. He looks so fantastic. I love how he looks.
I mean,
I think they showed off smoke too, which
I didn't
love.
see any smoke. What are you
I
talking
think
about?
that's Sub-Zero. I think that's Sub-Zero. I thought it was smoke at first too.
Out of a bunch of smoke, but
Oh, okay.
it could be. I mean, it could be a bait. So that's the thing. The ninjas have always been palette swapped. So ninja face smoke in the background. Is it smoke or is it just another ninja that's enveloped in smoke? There's no like hard look. There's the scar, or he's got a name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Thomas Vibrata." Like none of that shit was in there. So I think it could be smoke.
It might also be smoke that's enveloped in ninja.
I don't know
And
where
then-
you
and
guys. Where did you guys see smoke?
It was like,
He's coming out of a
it was like-
portal.
yeah, it was like there's like a portal and there's like smoke going around, and the scene right before it, there was like a ninja or something coming, like it looked like out of invisibility. There was like this orange glow over, so it was, like possible hint at reptile and then possible hint at smoke. But like, it's hard to tell with how fast they cut through it.
All right,
But I
let's
got to see the definitive.
let's go down the line. Let's start off with Dream Eater. What you thought of the movie trailer and everything, and then we'll go down the line. Go with Crispy, Silver, myself, and then Shock.
I mean, so as far as the movie trailer goes, Junk, if you want to time, it's 1:40 is the time stamp that you're looking for in the trailer. If you want to see the smoke that we're talking about, so and the one thing also to note is that, I guess real quick, Smoke and Sub-Zero are both Lin Kuei. So if it is Sub-Zero and Smoke just helped him get there real quick, that's not even unheard of. So it could totally be Sub-Zero that is that ninja that's walking through there with just like some quick pyrotechnics from Smoke. But what I think about the trailer, I think it looks cool. It looks like we're going to be able to see some really cool effects, which is what I'm more excited about. Like, I think the idea that the fights are going to be really flashy and over the top, and Liu Kang's going to be shooting fire and Sub-Zero's going to be freezing people. That looks like they're getting gory with it as well. That's totally cool. I'm afraid that Lewis Cole is going to be a fucking MMA dipshit. Like, just imagine the scenario. This guy, he shoots lightning. This man is a lizard over here. This one shoots fire. This is an undead guy that teleports. And Cole over here, He's got a wicked eye.
Yeah. He's gonna get something at the end. Watch, he's gonna get the green, dude. He's gonna get the green abilities. Watch.
That's what I'm calling it. He's gonna be Johnny Cage. It's gonna turn out at the end of this movie that he gets the role of Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is the stage name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so if they do something with that, I'm more into it. They already show a scene in the trailer of Lewis Cole like kicking somebody in a cage fight or whatever. So they're clearly going to be, and he's like walking into some gym, some MMA gym. So they're clearly going to have some like I do normal human-y fighting, which is cool. I mean, look, all of the characters in Mortal Kombat, I'm
actually looking forward to that.
Steeped in real martial arts, right? And the biggest case in point would be if you look back at some of the old games, like Scorpion had Hapkido, and they were all of these real martial arts that things were based on, and that even bleeds into their current maybe not moves explicitly, but their stances and stuff like that. Some of the things that they do, like Liu Kang is obviously the Bruce Lee, and you can see that through in the way that he moves and stands, a lot of the stuff that he does. So that's something yeah. But like my biggest fear is that Lewis Cole is going to be some fucking shithead MMA dude that doesn't shoot fire or teleport into lightning or seep acid when he cries. I don't care. He just needs to do something cool other than just fight. So that's like the kind of worry that I have. But otherwise, it's going to be cool. It's going to bring new people. My hope, for me, everything comes back to I hope it helps bring more life to the game. Like, I'll watch it, but I don't think it's going to have the same level of cultural impact that the first movie had. I don't think they're ever going to recapture that. So hopefully they're not trying to, and that they're just trying to have fun with it, because they can have fun. So hopefully that's what we get out of it, because they're not going to recapture the magic that was the first movie. But what I hope for it is that this movie brings in like a new influx, and they're like, hey, get the Combat Pack 3 is Lewis and Smoke and Reptile from the movie, or whatever other character. I'm sure they didn't show us every character that's going to be in the movie in the first time we've seen the movie in action, right? So maybe Natara shows up, or one of the robots shows up, or insert whatever character you want that could end up making a good addition to round out Combat Pack 3. I'm hoping that that's what we get, that this movie means more MK content, and more MK content means more Mortal Kombat 11 content. That's what I want.
All right. Krispifungus, go ahead.
Hopefully they finally press the sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Hopefully they finally press the launch button on Takeda.
Yeah, dude. Cole is Takeda somehow. Lewis Cole is like his weird name that he got when he moved over here because he was an orphan.
God, I hope not.
Name. Well, I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen enough of this character to know if he's not a cool Takeda, but like, look at that. I don't care how or Takeda's just his friend. Let's just say Takeda's his friend. Put him in the movie. Somehow find some way to bring.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
Apparently, his name is Cole Young, by the way.
Yeah, Cole Young.
Oh, Louis Tan is the name of the actor. Cole Young is.
Yeah.
All right, Louis Cole. Whatever.
Louis Cole.
Never change.
Louis Cole sounds better.
Again, I am now permanently calling him Louis Cole. So
it does sound better.
Cole Young.
Yeah. Crispy, what did you think of the trailer? It is, but I mean, what do you think? Crispy?
Trailer. Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, we're good.
No, I can't.
Okay. Anyway, I think the trailer, it looks like a modern day film. There's some things that I thought, like, for example, that scene where Scorpion was there with the fire, that definitely didn't look, it looked computer programmed. That part.
No, dude. I thought that he was actually wielding fire. Are you sure? That looked like they put an actor on fire. Their time for everybody.
You know what Crispy's trying to say. All right.
It just has like a specific. It has like a specific. It definitely feels like Mortal Kombat. I could say that, but there's just something to it. There's like something that's not there, or something that doesn't feel like a regular, like a typical movie that they're gonna put in theaters. There's something about it that I don't know how to really explain it, but it has a weird feeling to it.
Okay, so you're not full in, like, I'm all into watching this movie.
No, I'm 100% excited for the movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm really.
This is not a complaint. We should clarify that this this thing that you can't put your finger on is not something that it's missing. It's just something that you're saying I can't identify it, but this is a good thing, right?
It's neutral right now. I don't really know.
Oh, all right, I thought
Throwing that news.
But whatever it is,
almost on the money.
That's not there is making it feel like this is a really like a much more budgeted version of another Mortal Kombat movie that they happened to make like 30 years ago.
Okay.
I don't get that idea at all.
So you're saying that you think the plot's gonna be bad? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that has nothing to do with it. There's just something they're missing. That's all. Something that's just not in it that doesn't feel like a typical movie that they would put in theaters. It feels different than everything else. Not in a good way, not in a bad way. Just something different.
I think what's missing is faces that you recognize. Like,
yeah, dude, what was that Johnny Cage?
That to me is, and in some ways it's not a bad thing. I don't mind it at all, but this is a bunch of actors that I've never heard from before. The only one that I recognize is the guy that's portraying Scorpion. I feel like I've seen him before.
Yeah.
Even me that I've seen Scorpion before, but that could be just being a bigot. But I've definitely seen him in something before. Is
Hiroyuki Sanada, The Last Samurai, 47 Ronin,
okay,
Wolverine,
that was
Avengers Endgame.
Okay. So,
big fan.
I think what Dream said was actually what it is. I think that's they're actors I'm not used to, and yeah,
that detaches it from any like Hollywood-ness. I mean, even other big like franchises are at the level of Mortal Kombat. When you look at the Hollywood portrayal of them, MCU, it's like, oh well, there's Robert Downey and Chris Evans and all of these people that I've seen before, and this slate of characters is like new faces. But in some ways, what I like about it is I think about Game of Thrones, and that is a bunch of faces that were like hadn't seen a lot of these actors before, and now they've been able to have some really solid careers off of it. They've all been great actors in their own right, but what it definitely does do is it removes any like expectation that you may have about these actors and allows them to, in what I would hope, embody the character in their own way without me bringing, well, remember that time that he played Blade onto it or whatever? Like, nope, I don't have any sort of preconceived, last time I saw this dude, he was a badass, and I'm going to be thinking of that. They just get to, from the ground up, portray the character how they want, and then that'll be kind of hit or miss, I'm sure, per character on an individual basis, but at least it's going to come without any extra baggage.
Wasn't the actor that played Jax, wasn't he in like Supergirl or something?
Oh, I don't know. He might be.
Didn't he play? Yeah, I think he played Martian Manhunter. Yeah.
No.
Not the first gig for any of these people. I'm sure that there are people that have had credits before, whatever, but it's definitely not people that I recognize.
Most people won't recognize them. That's a good point.
So, Silver, what did you think of the trailer?
So I'm really hyped for the movie. The trailer actually was like really good. I don't know if anyone else saw it, but they had the statue of Shao Kahn, like, and Kano.
Yeah,
If I'm correct, I think that was the MK11 look for Shao Kahn.
It was, dude. It looked sick. Yeah, it looked perfect.
Yeah, it looked absolutely amazing. I loved that. Then they had Goro like jumping down towards Liu Kang. I already said it before, but the CGI on Goro is absolutely incredible. Like they really I think this is probably the best that Shao Kahn has ever looked.
But I agree. It looks nice.
He looks awesome. Then there was the awesome fight scene between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, where Sub-Zero stabs Scorpion, pulls out his blood, and forms a kunai with it, and then stabs it back into him. I thought like that was really cool, and they're bringing that like next level gore that we've kind of expected with each of the games, like how they level up that kind of stuff. That's awesome. My one downside that I saw, or at least heard, that was the weakest get over here I've ever heard.
Yeah. Get over here.
That was the weakest get over here I've ever heard. But other than that, I'm really excited.
Still learning the words for get over here or whatever. Because sure, Samurai doesn't shout in English just because. This is him trying to westernize it. Because it was not. It doesn't, like, maybe we're all spoiled by Ed Boon's rendition of it because that's what we hear in our heads. But I 100% agree. That get over here was lackluster for what I would have been expecting.
I don't think I would call it weak. I would call it what do you call it? I would call it like not a feel like it was a little forced. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was trying to say it wasn't passionate. You know, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I finally got this guy. I'm definitely gonna make this one count, and then he just comes out because he's so passionate about actually killing him. You know what I'm saying? It felt a little forced.
Line, like I have to say it because I'm pulling a guy here, as opposed to the desire behind the get over here just wasn't there.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Definitely
I feel like
agree.
he's saying it like just because he knows he's cool, you know? Which is fine.
Yeah.
He's
but
getting
just
that
not the
paycheck, dude. He better say it. Ben Boone's like, dude, these are the only 3 words we need you to say as Scorpion. Okay? That's it.
He also has a slip of paper with way more than 3 words on it, way more than 3 letters for sure, of just whatever gibberish for a bicycle kick. Come on. You know they got to give us a bicycle kick. Let's go.
Yeah, also after that, I will say Kung Lao looks freaking incredible. I love how they made Kung Lao look. Like the armor, the hat,
I had my
everything
doubts
about
at first.
him looks incredible. Yeah, I had doubts about Kung Lao too, but once I saw him in the trailer, oh my god, he looks fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Absolutely. I love his I love the actor that's portraying him, not because of his work, but because he actually looks like Kung Lao, like how I would think of him in real life.
I agree with that. Kung Lao visually is there for me.
And I know
dude looks...
but I love that Kano got the laser beam out the eye. Like they showed Kano shooting out a laser beam.
Oh, we're gonna get to Kano when it hits me, dude. Well, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah, Kung Lao, dude. Freaking, I love how he looks. I'm expecting some good things from him.
All right. Do you have anything else to add, Silver?
Other than that, like the CGI, and the anime, like the fight scenes are looking really good. One last thing. Why does Jax always lose his arms different ways with every reboot? Like every single time
you can't bring Ermac in and have him do it the same way every time.
I know that he has to lose his arms, but it's always a separate way. Like it started off Goro, then Ermac, and now it's Sub-Zero. Like what's the next thing he's gonna freaking lose it on? Like I've made the joke like twice already.
They're gonna not. I don't think they're gonna redo it ever again. I think it's always going to be every reboot. Jax is going to lose his arms a new way.
That is the way Jax. Every different universe, he has to lose it a different way.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
he has to lose it,
Jax losing his arms. But the thing about Jax losing his arms is it's not just Jax loses his arms. Jax losing his arms is always a plot point. So Jax losing his arms to Sub-Zero is what makes Sub-Zero the villain of this movie. Jax losing them to Goro was what made Goro like, oh shit. And Jax losing them to Ermac was a plot device to move that along as well. It also fueled later on Ermac versus Jax having some beef or whatever, I think. But it's a plot. It's like a big plot device, which is why they have to make a big deal out of it. They can't just, oh yeah, and then Ermac comes and blows his arms off. Like it's like a big deal losing your arms, and that's why I think they put so much weight on it, and that's why they end up. It's got to be so weighty that they end up like, all right, well, we're back at the Jax loses his arm scene. We got to come up with something. It's got to be big, and we can't do the same thing. Since it's got to be big, we got to do something new.
It's got to make sense.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying like it's bad that they're not using it as a plot device. Like I do want to see how they make it interesting, but I would like to see like a consistent way of him losing it, and not just, oh, we're just gonna put him with this other character and then force a story and like put a story around that.
Doing it, then that ends up being the consistent part of the plot. If Ermac has to show up to blow his arm off, then you can't have the Jax versus Sub-Zero fight later on when he's got metal arms. Like whatever thing that they're doing with Sub-Zero, which is maybe a different discussion on how we feel about Sub-Zero as the villain. But whatever stuff they're doing with Sub-Zero as the villain, now you have to do that. And then with Goro taking them off, that gives Sonya or whoever the drive to want to fight Goro later on. Like it's a fueling thing. And then because what happens is if you make it consistent that, well, Goro rips his arms off every time, well, then Sonya has to get pissed at Goro every time. Like it also sets up the rest of the flow of that. It's not just that one moment of how does Jax lose his arms. There's a bunch of other ripple effects that ends up happening. I think that's why they changed it, because if they were to do Sub-Zero next time, then that means Jax and Sub-Zero have to have beef. Or if they were to keep it to the Ermac way, that means that Ermac has to now be the villain of the movie instead of Sub-Zero, which now Scorpion doesn't hate Ermac. Or do we change Scorpions? You know what I mean? Like somebody's got to get a rewrite.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that. Like, it was more of just like an prefer that kind of like consistency, but I'll still give like wishful thinking and like see how it plays out and see how it goes. I'm still happy for the movie regardless. I think it's going to be pretty good. I kind of hope they don't just do the cop out of make Cole into Johnny Cage. I kind of want him to be his own kind of character with his own push up thing. But if it turns out that he's Johnny Cage, then that's what it is. But I'm still hoping for good things from it, and I think I should be all wrapped up. So move it back to you, Junk.
Yeah, let's get into Kano, because I think Kano is in some
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
biggest changes. Yeah, go ahead.
I really, when Sub-Zero said I am Sub-Zero, first of all, that also felt forced, but not only that, but I really wished that was Scorpion, and I wished he was saying I am Vengeance, because that's what I thought he was going to say, and I was about to jump out of my seat when I was first watching the trailer, but he didn't say it, and I was extremely disappointed. Anyways, I'm done.
That would have been really dope. I am Vengeance.
I think they're taking away Scorpion's evil arc too.
Yeah, he's gonna be good. Yeah, he's gonna be good in this. What it seems like.
Yeah,
all right, hopefully he changes a little bit. He could be a good guy, but he's not nearly as cool if he's not a bad guy, in my opinion. Well, he doesn't have to not be a bad guy. It's just like he has to have the sad, he has to have the big sad.
I think he'll still have the big
character.
I just think that they're not gonna. Scorpion's always been like an anti-hero and his main enemy has been Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero's always been a good guy. So because of that, it seems like it's like this fringe of like Scorpion's a bad guy. But now if they're with them going a hard pivot of Sub-Zero bad guy, that means they can also hard pivot Scorpion to being a good guy too.
Yeah.
Hard pivots also. Kano, what are they doing with Kano here? He is a homie from the outset. His metal eye is not as metal as it was before. I am two sides of it. I think it's cool, but I'm like, this is not the Kano I know. How do you feel about it, Junk? You're the Kano expert around here.
I already made, I was on Instagram and already making, what is going on? Why? I was pretty upset that they kind of took Kano's patented, eyepiece away and just gave him just, an eye. And apparently, I don't know. I know we were talking about how the CGI looked good, but there's that scene where he's using the eye beam and it just doesn't look that crazy good. I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm disappointed with Kano, but I'm saying I'm disappointed with Kano. I'm hyped for the movie. I'm hyped for the movie for sure, but Kano is not what I expected it to be.
Everything you wanted. Yeah.
It's not, and I wish it was a different actor, but we'll see how he plays out. It seems like they're trying to make him almost like a Terminator status, where he has the scars over his eye, and he's got the eyeball that is cybernetic. I missed the eyepiece. Sad about that. Things that I do like about the movie is I love that they're keeping it more or less in the Mortal Kombat universe. These people are coming in with powers. They're not making it some halfway, budgeted thing where it's Scorpion's spear is actually an animal that chases around in the first movie. No, it's literally a spear that he's using. It looks like Scorpion will have some teleports with that one scene where he's got fire swirling around him. They're keeping it true to the Mortal Kombat universe. These people are supernatural. They do have supernatural abilities, and I'm looking forward to it. I loved Shao Kahn. I love that they even put that there and they made him look top fucking notch. That was insane how good that Shao Kahn statue looked. The thing about this is there's a lot to unpack with this movie. I personally don't think this is going to be a one-off. I think there's going to be a Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. I think this is going to last a little longer than we expect. It's
like MCU, like a MKU.
Yeah, it can't just be a one. They can't show all that. Here's the thing. I'm hyped for the movie, but I'm also worried about the movie because if they try to unpack the entire Mortal Kombat universe in one movie, it's not going to happen, and it's going to come out very disgusting. A lot of cool fight scenes, but the plot isn't fully there. It needs to be unpacked correctly. It needs to have some development. And if there isn't, then it's gonna fall to pieces. That's what made the very first Mortal Kombat back in the 90s so good, is that they unpacked it well enough for you to get the entire picture, the tournament, everything. This looks like a beginning journey where everybody's coming together, and then they're gonna finally get to the tournament. They're gonna have some fighting in between, and hopefully I'm correct. Hopefully this is not gonna be like a one-off thing, or it's just one Mortal Kombat movie. Boom, here you go. It's gonna be Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, and that's what I have to say about the movie. Shock, what did you think?
I was kind of a little upset the noises Liu Kang made when he was making that dragon. It wasn't like, wah! You know what I'm saying? He was like...
Okay, come on. The wahs are cheesy, though. Come on. He's not going to have the wahs.
Come on.
He's not going to have the... He's not. Oh, I real quick, I was disappointed also in the way that Raiden looked.
Like the Bruce Lee.
Wasn't a fan.
Not like a cheesy one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the way that they had Kung Lao look, like how he looks all badass and everything, and then Raiden kind of just looks basic as fuck. Like, I didn't like that at all.
Raiden looks like a cosplay.
Yeah, it looked like some dude kind of wanted it on the set, wearing the hat, and they're like, dude, you're hired.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really seen this actor that is playing him. But that's just besides the point. Like, the whole costume, I'm not a big fan. Like, the dude doesn't look like it's obviously it's a different version of Raiden, but he doesn't look like a traditional Raiden. Like, when I think Raiden, I think of, like, you know the Raiden that we see, you know, that face, you know, or I think of Christopher Lambert. This is just completely different. I'm just gonna have to get used to it, I think.
If the armor was at least correct, I would be a lot more happier, but it didn't look good.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. What do you think of the Scorpion rework? I think the Scorpion redesign was really cool.
I like it too. Nice. I love how Scorpion looks.
I'm a Scorpion.
Me too.
Is it just me, or do you think the face masks look a little bulgy? I feel like they look a little big. Like when it did that close up on Sub-Zero, I was like, damn, his jaw is huge. Like,
so it's a little too big, but it doesn't like detract from everything else. Like, it's a little noticeable, but I don't think it like takes away from the rest of the outfit.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm kind of agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to go back to Kano though, like with how he's like a good guy in this, because I remember in MK9 when you're going through the
wait, that's not confirmed that he's actually a good guy yet.
Well, quote unquote good guy. It seems like he's on their side at the moment.
Yeah, the synopsis is he's like training with Cole and the other Earthrealmers.
Yeah,
is that real?
And then
that's the synopsis.
Yeah, that's like the synopsis of it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, this is such a big shift for Kano, because this is the first time that so Kano has always been a bad guy from the beginning, from the outset, from minute one. Even in the very first movie, the opening scene is Kano betraying Sonya as like a shitty informant or whatever. So Kano's always been a bad guy from the outset, and in the game, that's what his lore is, you know, Sonya's on the hunt for him. They used to be buddy-buddy, but Kano double-crossed her, or some shit like that, and that's why Sonya's chasing him, and she came to the tournament to hunt him down. So this is going to apparently give us a look at Kano as a good guy, pretending to be a good guy or whatever, and then we will presumably see the turn. The reason I only even say presumably is because there clearly is like screenshots of Sonya fighting Kano, and if Kano is a good guy forever, that'd be way too weird. I think, like, you can rewrite and make Sub-Zero a baddie, but you cannot make Kano a good guy. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
So that's what I was gonna say.
It does seem like he's a bad guy from the beginning, so we are going to legitimately see the turn from Kano. You know, they walk in on him, you know, on the cell phone with Shang Tsung or who knows what, but we're going to see that.
Yeah, that was the exact point I was going to make. Yeah, because in the MK9 storyline, it's like when
he's like
Johnny Cage beats
FaceTime with the phone up, and you can just see. And Shang Tsung.
Oh shit! Is that Shang Tsung? Get him!
And then he turns on. It's like, oh no! And then he covers himself up, but it's too late. Sonya caught him.
Yeah, but it turns out he was just on. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
And is that Reptile that we see fighting Kano, or
Yeah, that's what I.
What else?
You know that scene?
I don't know what.
There was like an invisible creature on the beams.
Yeah, there was like a visual creature on the beams, and then
mini Godzilla in there too, and it looks
yeah, what? I don't know. I don't like that.
yeah, like on like the rafters or whatever. There's like a character that was like sort of invisible, and then you see like this orange glow going over, revealing more. So it's like sort of hinting at Reptile, and that's when it cut to the possible smoke, just bringing Sub-Zero in type of deal. So we might get more. And then there was Melina that they showed, who didn't have like the teeth outright showing. It just looked like regular face with going like just like normal face, no Tarkatan showing. So I'm thinking that they're gonna do something later down. Like I feel like they're having her look that way now, like have the katana looking face now, and then down the line it's slowly going to start showing more and more of that Tarkatan side. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do with Melina, either in this movie or the next one.
Or the actor was difficult. I don't think that's the case, though.
I don't think that's the case. I think they have like a story meshed out for the whole Melina storyline with how they're going to work around it.
Is it just me, or does like people? I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one here that is not a big fan of Melina.
I'm not a big fan of Melina either. Like I understand. Like
Melina sucks, dude. Melina fucking sucks. That character is and always has been a waste of fucking space, time, and energy. I'm stunned that they decided to put that fucking reject in the movie after they shit out some half-ass version of a character for her. Melina is so boring in MK11, and I'm so sick.
Yeah. I don't like Melina. I'm glad I said anything.
I will say this about Melina is like if they actually fleshed out the whole sister thing with Katana, if they flesh out that storyline more, I feel like it would be interesting. But since they have done nothing with that,
I just care about fucking Katana. Stop bringing her into the story too. Like who fucking cares about Katana? It's about the tournament, okay, and about Scorpion being mad. That's it. If you're not a ninja or a robot, I don't give a fuck about why you're here.
But they are ninjas.
Katana is a ninja.
No. They're not. They're assassins. They're not what I mean by a ninja. If you're not a palette swap of Hanzo Hasashi, I don't give a shit. Maybe that's a more specific.
But they aren't they ninjas by like definition?
Sure, but whatever. But they're not palette swaps with Scorpion. That's what I'm worried about. If you're not just another colored male ninja, I don't care about your storyline. I care about the ninjas.
I'm literally showing the stream right now Melina's teeth, and they do not look vicious whatsoever.
I mean,
it's probably going to be something that
it's likely going to have.
Yo, but dude, that Shao Kahn statue is so
the
sick.
Shao Kahn looks so good, dude.
Holy crap, dude! It looks perfect. Like that's straight from the game, dude.
Yeah, it does look like straight out of the game. It's one of his outfits in the game.
Oh, that is Reptile.
Yeah, that was like Reptile, and then hold on, here's the portal coming up here.
Yo, dude, Shang Tsung, the person they got for Shang Tsung looks fucking great too.
Yeah, he's got. I think the only problem with the Shang Tsung is just going to be he has the biggest shadow to fill. Everybody else has a significantly easier job of replacing the previous character or whatever. But
at least he looks the part though. That helps a lot.
He does look the part.
Incredible.
Oh, dude, is that really smoke? I don't know if that's smoke or if that's like a portal.
Yeah, exactly. It could totally be like the Lin Kuei smoke is the guy that just does the portals. You know what I mean?
It's hard to tell if the ninja is blue or gray there. It's really hard.
Well, we'd have to get more shots.
Yeah, because Sub-Zero's is black.
Armor and then kind of compare that, and then assume also.
Oh no, it is. It is. Hold on. It has to be Sub-Zero because I'm looking at the armor right now of like that one shot where he's throwing the ice down on the street, and it's the same like looking armor.
Wait, go back to show off. Go back to show off. Because he looks awesome.
Go back what?
Both from the same plan, so they would have.
Go back like 5 seconds, and it'll show Goro, and he looks fucking incredible.
Oh yeah. Look at Goro. I mean, you can tell it's CGI'd. And who is he fighting against? Looks like some random guy. Oh, it might be Cole. That armor he's wearing.
He looks so freaking good, dude. Like, look at that. That's awesome. Goro just looks fantastic.
Yeah, he does look pretty good. You know what does not look good? Is Kano's I-beam. I'm very disappointed with that I-beam, wherever the fuck it is.
I think it might be later and not earlier.
No, it's definitely earlier because I already saw it. They also do like a throwback to the great Kung Lao.
Yeah,
what it looks like right here.
That was a nice touch.
I saw that. That was actually had me hyped for a second. It's pretty cool.
You would be hyped, you damn
Kung Lao
fucking
any special
Kung Lao
powers.
specialist main motherfucker.
Yep. I'm the only person I know besides Scar that uses that stance too.
I think
Great stance.
the most exciting part I saw in this, I did like how they showed Hanzo Hasashi before they showed Scorpion. So we get to see Hanzo Hasashi, see how he dies and then gets turned into Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
cool,
yep.
actually.
Like the choreography in that scene looks pretty cool.
Look
but
at
I feel like it
that.
could've
Look
been-
how
it could've
shitty
been
that
cool.
I-beam looks. My
Oh, wow.
god.
It
This
needs
is so...
to be like twice as round.
It needs to be thicker, yeah. That's why I missed the eyepiece. That looks like
That's what she said.
the dinkiest laser coming out of his eyeball. He's laughing like it's all powerful. Like
It looks like he's shooting bullets out of his eye, not like an actual laser beam.
okay, so that Raiden scene where he's like porting in, he does look pretty. Looks alright. Alright.
Okay, yeah, that looks actually nice. But it's the scene after that.
Yeah,
looks
the scene
like
right here. It's like, what is this? What is he wearing? What is he wearing? Jax's arms look good. It's weird. Did they give Kano a robotic arm? Because that doesn't look like the same robotic arm that Jax has. Jax's fingers look a lot thicker. Shang Tsung looks spot on. Kang looks a little thin in the face. I like the outfit.
Kano's eyes looks like a pea stream.
Yeah, Sub-Zero. Look at that. Look at that mask detail, dude. That looks sick. It's like,
It
yeah,
looks
look at how thick it is, dude. Christ, thick as hell. But it looks sick. Good.
Mm-hmm.
The fight scenes look like they're gonna do a lot, and I love that scene where he's like, he made the ice dagger out of the blood. Fucking nice touch,
Yeah,
dude.
and then
Beautiful.
stabs him back into it. That's
Beautiful,
awesome.
nice touch, dude. And they gave him the what's it called? The foot ice. Oh, what creeping ice.
Wait, did he actually? Wait, let me see this.
That's what it is, right? Where he does the low.
No, he did amplified slide there. He makes the ice fall and then throws you through it.
Oh, hold on. I got to get over here. I want to hear this. I want to hear this force get over here. Get over here!
You know what? How much expectation we had from Dreams? Like, I'm not gonna be too hard on him.
Get over here! Almost sounded like our...
Arnold Schwarzenegger throwing.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to unpack this. Hold on. I'm going to go like scene by scene.
What happened to Dream here? Okay,
Did he
we're
peace
shot.
out?
I think he got. No, I think he got glitched out.
You can get back in.
Yeah, I'm telling him the call's still up. I'm not sure if he's letting him back in or not.
Ooh, hold on. Seeing some stuff in slow-mo here. Shang Tsung's armor looks sick.
Thick.
It's an awesome take on it.
Ooh.
I really do like it.
I got cut in half. Oh my god. You know she got put in for all the Melina stands out there.
Alright, so that doesn't even. So is that like just reptile, and not human reptile?
Oh, it's definitely reptile, not human reptile at all. Look at that, dude. He just looks like a fucking... He doesn't even look like a lizard. He looks like a half wolf, half lizard. Good thing Kano's taking him out. Yeah, not a fan. Wait, what the fuck? He's got regular eye. I'm looking at Kano. He's got 2 regular eyes. What is this?
That's gonna get a yikes from me.
Oh, I'm telling you, and he doesn't even have the chest thingy, and he does have a robotic hand.
They did Kano dirty.
Dude, they did Kano dirty in my opinion. Damn. Dude.
I did like the line that he said at the end. There is like, "Kano wins, you fucking beauty." That's such a good line.
Get out of here, dude. Why? Why did they fuck Kano up, dude? Why? Thank you for the biddy, Savoy boy. Oh my god. Anyways, we have gone quite the time. I don't know where Dream's at, but I'll shout him out just in case he doesn't swing by. Did we lose Shock
we
too?
Lost, yeah, we lost Shock as well.
What the hell happened?
I have no idea.
Well, interesting. Well, I will shout those guys out. Crispy, since you're here, we're going to wrap things up with that, guys. Seriously, thank you to everybody for swinging by. I want to seriously thank my co-hosts, first of all, Dream Eater and SilverSandBag, as well as our guests today, Krispifungus and Zcytheshock. Crispy, if you want to go ahead and give us your little outro, where can people find you, and what are your social medias?
I am everywhere and nowhere. Seriously though, I'm just Krispifungus everywhere. If you want to follow me, I don't really care. It's up to you. I don't really post much, so there would be no point, to be honest with you.
Damn, bro.
But I do like fighting games other than Mortal Kombat. I think Mortal Kombat's not a very good design fighting game, but you know, you could watch me on Nightmare series. You could watch me on PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check out Krispifungus. He's a fantastic player. Really, really top notch. SilverSandBag, go ahead and give your spiel to everybody. Oh, I need to invite them to the call. Hold on, let me re-invite them to the call. Oh, I think all of you got. Wait, how do I? Oh, oh shit! The hell? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. All right, let's see if we can get else back in here. So apparently it like broke for something. But go ahead while we're getting the other people in. Do your spiel, Silver.
Alright, so you guys can all find me at SilverSandBag on Twitter. You can also find me at Twitch at twitch.tv/ SilverSandBag. I am also Mortal Kombat streamer or a variety streamer, streaming a bunch of different games. After this, I am going to be streaming the Guilty Gear Strive beta.
Ditto.
Looks to be like a fun freaking game. Gonna be hyped about that. Hell, if Junk wants to play, you can watch me free him up in that game.
Oh my god, I'm gonna.
Yeah, if you guys do want to, please follow me on Twitch, Twitter. I don't have a YouTube up yet, but I am working to get that going. And if you guys just want to join up, have some fun with the community, I try to help everyone get better at whatever game that they're trying to play, despite how good or bad it may be. And we're all just trying to have fun. So if you guys want to come stop by and leave a like or anything.
Awesome. So I guess I will end it up here. I'm gonna do a quick shout out for Dream Eater. You can definitely find Dream Eater at DreamxEaterx on Twitch. You can also find him on Twitter. I believe it's the same handle, DreamxEaterx on Twitter. He's a fantastic tournament organizer. He runs the biggest Xbox tournament, Xbox specifically, for Mortal Kombat 11. So if you guys want to sign up for the tournament, be sure to go to smash.gg/DreamMK. You guys are interested in testing your might. And Zcytheshock, you can definitely go follow that fellow on. I don't know if he has a Twitch. Crispy, does he have a Twitch?
Yeah, it's Crosstail.
Crosstail.
KROSSTAIL.
Is that really? I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah.
What the? I thought it was Sage the Psych or whatever.
No, that's on Twitter is Zcytheshock /Sage the Sky or whatever he has.
Yeah, Sage.
And then his Twitch is.
Oh, so it's Scythe Sky. So that is ZCYTHE_SKYE. I will post all the links to everybody's Twitters if you guys want to go follow them in the comment section. Well, not the comment section, the description section of the YouTube once I get this up on YouTube. So you guys can definitely go follow him. He's an amazing Kung Lao player. He also competes in the Nightmare series. So if you guys definitely want to check out these two fantastic players, Krispifungus and Zcytheshock, and you know what, SilverSandBag has also been competing. You want to check them all out. You can definitely check out the Nightmare series to see how good their gameplay really is. And for me, I am the Junkbox. You guys can definitely follow me here at twitch.tv/thejunkbox. You can also follow my Instagram at thejunkbox_. Follow my Twitter at junkonyoBunk. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please do not forget to like and subscribe. It definitely helps me out big time. So that's going to be it for the podcast this week. Seriously, big shout outs to everybody that swung by. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to the guests. Thank you for the co-host. And I hope you guys enjoy. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time for the next State of the Game podcast on Mortal Kombat 11. Have a great night, everybody.